Welcome to Hot Takes, viewers. It is I, young Shiro, and my intrepid colleague, Skeleton Lipstick. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
So,
hi, guys. Thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure.
It is. And for anyone in chat, thank you so much for your loyalty. And for anyone that's new, welcome. I see Econo Jazz. Thank you for being here. Some regulars like Device Jazz? Operator, Luxury Noise, and Be Careful. Zavi, what's up? Please help, as always, help us stay in the know about our audio levels, the music. If everything sounds good, if anything sounds bad or is too quiet, too loud, let me know in the chat. And be sure when they turn on their camera to give a warm welcome to our special guest tonight, Digital Sex, Dreaming Diary, formerly known as Digital Sex, who we're very excited about having.
Phenomenal projects, and a phenomenal producer who has really played around with a lot of different ways of doing music. And I would love to get his opinion on some questions about.
We're excited about
vaporwave.
We're excited about letting the questions roll, but keep in mind always, viewers, you are our top priority. Your questions reign supreme. If you have questions for the boys or our guests, please let us know. Put them in the chat. We will ask your questions as quickly as we can. And I want to just also respectfully remind everybody that this is a DIY, non-for-profit show. If the spirit moves you, you can follow this link right here in chat and drop in a little donation of your choosing. No pressure, but it means a lot, and all donations go towards equipment upgrades and commissioning our friends.
It all goes towards just show. Giving money to our friends, yes,
and your friends, because this is a
friends,
community,
actually,
right?
Yeah, and all your friends. Actually.
We're gonna try to keep it spicy and edgy tonight, but of course, as always, no punching down. Punching up is fine, just no punching down. We're gonna start tonight with some recommendations, courtesy of moi, and then we're gonna roll into what everybody really wants to hear, and that's a hot takes, courtesy of Skelly. So to start the night off, I want to recommend 3 recent finds to you guys. One of them, actually, I can thank Lux for. Lux put me on to this artist called Alpine, spelled with 2 I's, Alpine. Alpine makes chill synth music, kind of in the vein of Hotel Pools, our good friend.
Ben. Hooray.
Ben, our very good friend, who I
Ben.
very much enjoyed meeting, and I'm sure you would agree, at
ElectroniCON.
My God.
I mean, I love that guy, and it was just a real pleasure to meet him in person. Just
oh my God,
what a wonderful soul. I couldn't wait. I was so happy. He actually, when I met him at Econ, he found me. He's like, Chris, like Isaac said, I had to come find you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm so happy you did, and it was just a wonderful time meeting him. I just want to go hang out with him and his family.
Me too.
Like, just have like some coffee with them. He's great.
I asked him, and I don't want to go on a super huge rabbit trail, but I asked him what his little son thought of his set. I hope it's okay that I bring that up, and he was just like, "Oh man, he loved it. He got to see the video footage, and he was like, Daddy, you're playing live like The Weeknd? That's cool."
Like The Weeknd? He got compared.
Hope it's okay that we bring that up if he tunes in. But I thought.
No, they're both him and The Weeknd are Billboard charting artists, so they have that in common, right?
They probably both have Lady Gaga's phone number.
They probably both have Lady Gaga's phone number in their personal phones as well. I bet.
So to get back to what I was talking about, we love Hotel Pools on Hot Takes, but if you like Hotel Pools' music, or Unfound, or Zayn Alexander, or Allison, or Flavio Labar, you need to listen to Alpine, and you need to follow the link that Lux just posted. Thank you for putting me on, Lux.
I think that Ben just released something new. Yes,
he did.
Right? Didn't he release it with Allison? Right. I haven't heard it yet, but I just saw that popping up on my feed. I assume on Stratford Court. Yes.
Probably.
Yes, yes, I believe
Andrew
so.
Walker was at ElectroniCON. I'm gonna really try not to just talk about ElectroniCON the whole
mad
episode.
that I missed Andrew. I didn't know that Andrew was there, and that's someone I've been friends with for like over 10 years now.
Back since he was walkie-talkie.
Oh, back since he was walkie-talkie, and he just has such a that label Stratford Court is so important, and it's been around for so long, and that's no easy feat to have like a DIY independent
Absolutely.
label, functioning
With
for
such
so
a
many
uniform
years.
Sound, he curates
that's
it really well, and sound and design, like look too.
Don't forget that Lipstick Elite was originally released on Stratford Court.
Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Don't forget that.
Shit,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
forgot. My bad. Whoops. So if
Yeah,
you're a fan
I mean,
of Lipstick Elite, check out Alpine.
And they released Venture X's vinyl album, which I
sick. Uh-oh.
Sure if released on vinyl, And I remember and back in the day, that was a crazy thing too. Back in the day, to release something on vinyl, I remember them doing that, and being like, "Whoa!"
Must have been like 2013.
I remember them doing, and I remember them doing that, and being like, "Oh man, we're like, this is so professional. Like, I can't believe we're gonna try and someone in the scene is gonna try and sell vinyl. Like, wow, that's for like the big indies. That's what they do. Like, I can't believe that someone's gonna try this. I'm like, I really hope that they can sell it." Right. And here we are, and now here we are.
Now everybody gets, and that's great. It's not a
now
bad
there's
thing.
all kinds
Everybody
of
gets their album pressed. So check out Alpine. I also want to recommend. Hang on, I just spaced. I want to recommend Bart Graft. If any of you guys are a fan of music that sounds like it's straight from the '80s, but doesn't have like the kind of overdone passe sound of Outrun synthwave, you need to check out Bart Graft. No disrespect to Outrun synthwave, I'm definitely a fan, but like if you miss that kind of tinny, like romanticized sound of like Mitch Murder and their sound font, but maybe a little more romantic, check out this specific album called Worldly Pleasures by Bart Graft, which I think is a play on bar graph, but I don't want to like say that for sure.
Question is, I don't mean to interrupt when we're no, keep doing your recommendations. Actually, I'm sorry.
No, yeah. I've want Lux. Thank you. she's the link queen. But yeah, Bart Graft. Check it out if you like '80s music. If you want a softer side of synthwave, a more interesting sound font, or you want vaporwave that is, original compositions that sound like they came from some coked out, bank account executive, check out Bart Graft's Worldly Pleasures. Last one.
Nice.
I always like to challenge my audience a little bit with something a little vapor adjacent. And today I'm going to recommend a lo-fi house record by Benedek. Benedek. Benedek has been around for a long time, and they've actually done some work for some people in the vapor scene. Benedek remixed a VHS Logos track, I want to say, a long time back.
Awesome.
So there's some intersection, and Benedek released
VHS Logos, my buddy.
Old school, right? Been around a long time.
I love that guy. Yeah, I've been friends with him for a long time. I'd love to. I got to go to Brazil because I just kind of want to drink and party with him. Like he's a cool guy. I like him a lot. He's got a lot of style too.
He does.
I like his vibe. I've always liked his vibe. He's a cool guy.
I was told by a few people that he's my doppelganger.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. I never thought about it. Like
I don't see it, but
he's very cool. That's not the worst person to get compared to, Isaac.
Right, and he's been very successful too.
Yeah, he's been very successful.
So Benedek did a remix for VHS Logos long time ago.
That guy.
Now they make, and they've always made kind of like vibey, housey stuff. Not vaporwave, but kind of vape. It's got the same synth like sound font. But this particular album is out on Long Island Energy Systems, otherwise known as LIES, which if you are familiar with lo-fi house at all, is like a really raw, like battered house label. Very DIY, and if you release on LIES, like you made it. It's like the 100p of lo-fi house kind of. So this album was called Mr. Goods. I'm gonna link it, and if any of y'all are fans of like just stompy, 4 on the floor with like some just real like stanky, jankety vibes, you got to check out Mr. Goods by Benedek.
That's fun. That's a fun
Lots of fun for fans of like Baltra or like Fomek or 70s Network, or just people that throw like 4 on the floor beats over like Memphis trap type sounds. Check out Mr. Goods by Benedek. And with that, I cede my time for Dr. Chris's hot take.
Oh, it's please just. I don't know. Yeah, but what was I talking about? First things I wanted. This isn't even a hot take, but the Stratford Court, is that the only label still around from like the first era of the internet music scene? Like,
Yeah, I mean, Keats
Collective
died.
Successful. No, I don't really know any other ones that are from like the very first, like the 2010 to 2013.
I didn't know they were that old, bro.
And they've been around forever. Absolutely,
wow.
they're one of the first, and that's a tremendous feat because that
True.
doesn't happen that often. And it's him running it. It's him designing the aesthetics for the whole label and doing such amazing artwork for all those releases as well.
Oh yeah, he does it
and
all.
just being like the chillest dude ever. You know what I mean? Just being such a positive person all the time and. Just shout out to Andrew because that's really cool. It's just fun. I'm so
Andrew.
pleased they're still around. Am I just getting disconnected right now? Hold on.
I mean, I hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
VHS Logos would love to hang out with him. I like that guy too. He speaks his mind. He's an interesting character. He's fun.
He's not afraid to speak his mind, is he?
No, I love that, man. He's got some edge. I like people who are rough around the edges. I love that. I love those kinds of people. Okay, so what's so many hot takes to talk about right now. First things first is ElectroniCON. Did you have a fun time, Isaac?
Absolutely. It was a whirlwind. It was an absolute blur. What about you?
I had a great time. It's really fun to see everybody. I still think it's...
more.
Oh, it's hard to see anybody more. Oh, me too, man. Of course, absolutely. But it's so big, and there's so many people to run into. And I do still consider this. I 100% consider this to be just a phenomenal feat. Like, it's crazy to me that George does this. It's
Unreal.
insane that there's a vaporwave festival that gets set up that you just did that. You just did it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just made it happen. It's insane, and I don't think that can be downplayed. No, I don't think that should be downplayed. It's a crazy undertaking. I was walking around and I just see all these people, and I'm like, I can't believe that they're responsible for all of this. And I'm making sure all these people are okay. And like, I don't even understand how they got this venue, how they did this. I didn't understand the first two times.
Apparently, it was their very first time that they had done like a multi-stage festival.
I had remarked to George in a text message. I told him you created a vaporwave summer camp. And then he actually used my line, and he announced it to everybody at the beginning of the set. He said, I'm your counselor. This is the vaporwave summer camp.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I texted him that line. I'm like, I'm glad you liked it.
And the bullies were the security guards.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's just such a strange thing because I just still can remember when it was so small. I even remember George touring for the first few times, maybe even like supporting TV Girl, and then playing the small venues, and there not really being anybody around. And just what's really fascinating to me is that at the end of the day, like, I don't know, man, these Spotify statistics, something is like ridiculous about them because I see artists that have millions of listeners, and then they go play live and there's nobody there, or they're opening for somebody and there's no one watching them, and I'm like, how is this possible? But then you look at George's statistics, and it's in the hundreds of thousands, but it's certainly not in the millions like some of these other people. And yet he's able to put this together. He's able to have that kind of big audience for it. And I am just like, it's really, really cool that when you think about the vaporwave artists and you think about, the people and that are more successful in the scene, like those listeners they have are all earned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This isn't.
I don't know how
really.
they do
Nothing is in. Like, the thing I like about vaporwave is like very little is like really inflated, the same way it is in every other music scene.
That's true.
I feel like in every other music scene, there's some team of publicists or some team that's behind them, like doing some shit to like fake shit on the to fake things.
You don't think any vaporwave artists buy listeners or
I don't know.
Plays?
I mean, if they are, they're certainly not buying enough because it doesn't look like it compared to everybody else.
Right.
And so I appreciate that. It just, I appreciate the sincerity. I mean, I appreciate what I perceive to be the sincerity in this scene and the adjacent scenes.
Right.
In regards to like not trying to fake too much, not trying to put up these artifices and to cheat in the same way that everybody else does. Because the internet is kind of just like the real world, except it's easier to fake things in the internet. And good for them. But
definitely fewer clout chasers.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's interesting. I don't know. Things feel more sincere here. Maybe that's just what I perceive.
I do agree.
I'm an optimist always. What can I say? But I guess like hot take. Let's talk about a few things here. I heard a lot of people say that they didn't think there was enough vaporwave at the ElectroniCON festival, but I don't know. I watched vaporwave all day. I didn't even not watch any non-vaporwave people perform. Well, I understand that Neon Indian, Washed Out, and some other acts were there, but guess what? They were playing, and I was seeing either St. Pepsi, or I was seeing Jeff Faber, or I was seeing somebody else. And honestly, those people being on those stage, I guess it was more of an opportunity for me to see the other acts I wanted to see.
Fair.
But I do understand, I guess, that we want our artists that we love to be on the big stage, right? We want that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you got to bring more people into the scene, right? You have to bring more people into this world to be aware of it, right? So I understand the concept of having those acts on the main stage, because that will bring people in. Yeah. And then because they're coming in to see that, it's the same thing with everything else. It's like, because they're coming in to see that, they're going to be exposed to these other artists. They're going to on the undercard, I guess, if you want to say that, in the smaller rooms, right? And you'll gradually bring more people in, and you will see these artists get onto the main stage eventually. You know what I mean? But it's I
mean, he had to sell out, right?
Yeah, it's all chess, right? You have to move the pieces the way you need to move the pieces. And as much as we'd all like to storm the gates and put our friends on big stages right away, it's gradual, but it's happening, and I could see that.
I agree that the club stage was too small, but nonetheless, I thoroughly agree.
You work
with
what
that.
you have to work with what you have. You know what I mean? You have to work with what you have, and the fact that fine, it's not the biggest stage, but it is a stage at a sold-out festival. It is going to be the biggest audience and a very excited audience that anyone's really going to anyone really ever has, and from there you can build. And
Agreed.
That's the whole thing about so. Vaporwave. What is vaporwave, right? What is this? You know what I mean? How will we define? What is it? Is it
very amorphous?
Is it a movement? Is it a style? I mean, that's the fun thing about it, is that you get involved and you have to decide what it is for yourself, and you have to kind of make your own journey through it. But at the end of the day, whatever it is, we want it to do well. We want people to we want to. So, okay, for me, like, the act of rebellion is fighting against the bigger independent labels, the bigger, the current paradigms in place, basically, for like what indie music is and what kids choose to listen to and all that. And for me, with vaporwave and doing these sorts of events and doing these bigger things, it's the idea of trying to supplant that current paradigm that's out there.
Gotcha.
That current concept of like, okay, well, we listen to indie rock music, we do this indie stuff over here, where the whole thing about the vaporwave movement is trying to, in my opinion, for me at least, trying to move away that old guard and replace it with us, for lack of a better word, you know what I mean, and the world that's been created here, you know what I mean?
No lies detected.
Because that's just the way these things move. They have to continue to move. And I've said it before, as much as I would love to go back to 10 years ago when it was me on my computer talking to everybody and making this music with my friends and sort of just connecting with my small community and experimenting with sound textures back and forth and slowing samples down. It does always have to continue to move forward, right? It does always have to continue to do something,
has to evolve.
lest it fall into the dustbin of history. Yes. So
the dustbin of history.
The interesting thing, when I was doing my interview with the MPF guys for the Vaporwave documentary, they had brought up a question to me, and they said, well, do you think it's a problem for... Well, there's two questions I want to talk about, actually. One was, do you think it's a problem if there's bigger record labels that are under the Vaporwave umbrella? Is that a problem? And I said, I don't think so, no. And then they said to me, well, George says he does want 100p to be like corporation almost. And I said, yeah, that's not a problem. And he said, because it's going to supplant the other corporations. If it becomes God, I hope it does become a corporation, and it supplants and moves away and replaces the ones currently in place, right? So
hey, as long as they still serve their customers, man.
Rather than joining up with other monoliths currently in power, right? The whole point is to become your own version of a monolith and push them away, right? And then you now create a landscape where smaller artists in the scene, regardless of what kind of music or how they do it, now have this playground to be in that's been created and made bigger. You know what I mean? And like you push away that old stuff so you have room for everybody to thrive.
Like shedding skin.
In theory.
What do you say we bring our good friend on and see what they think?
Do we have 73 viewers?
Yes. Thank you for. Well, I don't know, but Videodrome just rated us with 32 people. Shout out Videodrome TV.
So the other. So my hot take is I don't see a problem with vaporwave becoming bigger so long as it remains in the hands of people who have designed it, and it is pushing aside the stuff that had kept us out in the first place. Because I don't think anybody is trying to really control it. I hope not, at least. My idealistic perspective says I don't think people are trying to control it, but they're just trying to push away the impediments that have kept us down for so long and, made us feel like we weren't worthy of an audience.
We can only hope, man. And you are roboting a little bit.
When we first.
So
the other hot take.
Oh, you're back. Good. What's the other one?
Oh, the other hot take they asked me is what they asked me about, like, what about the people who don't like vaporwave, who argue or this or that are within the scene? And I said they're important. And I said it is important to have antagonists. It is important to have people who challenge you all the time. That we can't all just be happy all the time, and we can't all just be so, satisfied with whatever we think this is, and then nobody fights. You actually do have to have people that challenge it. You have to have people who say they don't like it. You have to have people that argue with you and say it should be this and it should be that, because I think it's important. I think it's important to be challenged. I think about it a lot, and I enjoy the challenge of thinking about it deeper, and I think that those people serve a purpose too by keeping things from stagnating, and that's just my opinion. And okay, I can stop rambling now.
Well, you know what, man? Those are super deep and valid points, and you're right. You do have to have people to challenge you to keep it fresh and keep the growth instead of stagnation.
Well, because then like everybody, you have to have somebody pushing you a little bit. People need to be pushed a little bit, right?
I think I just resent the people that try to like mold vaporwave or like change it to something. Control it themselves,
It's true, but in some way, is everybody trying to mold it and control it themselves in some way? Everyone feels ownership over
a little bit.
You know what I mean? I mean, we all feel some level of ownership over it, right? Because we're so close to it. So, it's interesting. I enjoy the discourse. At the end of the day, I actually don't have any real answers. You know what I mean? But I do like to listen. And I do like to contemplate. And at the end of I guess for me, vaporwave is recontextualization of memory, emotion, and sounds. And the most effective way to do it is by taking a sample and slowing it down. I don't think it's the only way. But anyway, that's enough.
I'm gonna bring our guest on, or we're gonna get reamed in the video comments. So everybody, give a warm welcome to Dreaming Diary, otherwise formerly known as Digital Sex. Go ahead and unmute yourself, buddy.
Hey boys, what's up? How you doing?
Welcome
tonight?
on to the show, bro.
Hi.
Guys, this is Sebastian. Sebastian's been around for a long time.
Hi.
You don't make music under Digital Sex any longer, do you?
I do. So my current project is Dreaming Diary, which is original synthpop music, but
which is great. Ocean Eyes is a phenomenal song.
Oh, what? Yeah, I didn't.
And then Digital Sex, I still want to keep and just do it for like fun output of just like traditional.
It has a very recognizable name. People remember Digital Sex.
I know.
So I'm glad we had that conversation, and you were okay with me billing you as Digital Sex.
No, that's totally fine. That's what people know me as. I'm still trying to establish the Dreaming Diary name. I'm still trying to get that out there. At ElectroniCON, every person I went up to, I was like, "Hey, I'm Digital Sex."
I remember this. That's how you introduced yourself to me.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh shit, yeah," because no one knows what my face looks like.
It was an exciting moment, and I think I saw you a couple more times.
It's like a jump scare. Yeah, it was cool.
No, all I remember is just I was like, damn, he has really great hair. He's very physically fit, and I'm so excited that I finally get to meet him and see what he looks like. But that's not what this is about. This is about your opinions. What do you think about what Dr. Chris said about vaporwave? Do you take ownership over vaporwave? Are you trying to change vaporwave, etc.?
I totally agree with everything he was saying, especially about like kind of like for me it's the core of it is like nostalgia, whether that's like real or artificial, and it's kind of an appreciation for the past.
True.
it doesn't, it doesn't always have to be samples, but like with my current music, I wanted to use these old sounds in a way that's not like, it's not like, oh, remember the 80s. It's like, oh, these sounds are still like really beautiful to me. This is still like really pretty music. I want to express that. I want to show that you can still use these aesthetics and these old synthesizers in ways that are like more modern. That was kind of the whole thing of Dreaming Diary, was like taking synthpop into like a modern direction and
sick,
just kind of figuring out like what's true to my own sound, which just happens to be these like old analog.
Do you sing
synths.
in your music?
It
Yes.
does. Yes,
Nice.
I do.
Nice.
Great. The Dreaming Diary stuff.
I'm
is a lot
definitely
of
more
vocals
familiar
in it.
with Digital Sex, if you'll forgive me.
No, that's everyone is. Everyone is. I only have 2 albums out for Dreaming Diary, but
only 2. That's still a good output, man, and it's very good music.
Well, and
too.
synthpop
I'm a
is
big
hard
fan
to
of Dreaming
write.
Diary.
It is.
Like
It is.
Tell me about it. I have a few songs like that too.
Yeah.
You can either do like the sugary sweet, like Seth Nova, like fashionista boyfriend type,
Seth
or you can
Nova,
do. Me too. I'm only just starting to get into them, but goddamn, are they good?
Great.
Or you can
It's
do
really
like
good.
the kind of like the post punk like Pet Shop Boys and like Depeche Mode, like kind of sort of serious or like sort of darkish sounding.
No, yeah. The inspiration for
Maybe a little
switching
bit of
over
both.
because the inspiration for switching over to that style was Black Marble. If you guys are familiar with them,
Very
Okay.
familiar
They're
with
like a
Black
modern-
Marble. They're
Oh,
probably
as
by
much as I would
far
like.
they're easily the best people in that genre making that
Yeah.
kind of music
Really?
because they're
Damn,
just
you gotta put me on.
Oh yeah.
You've never listened to Black Marble? Are you
All
kidding
right.
me?
Wow.
There are a lot of
Wow.
things. Listen, there are a lot of things I can find that you've never listened to, but no, put
That's
me on.
true, but Black Marble to me is like a very exceptional songwriter. It's like
No,
it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter like Black Marble are exceptional songwriters, probably some of the
Okay,
best
I wanna hear 'em,
songwriters around, and they just happen to make this lo-fi sort of lo-fi synth-based cold wavy music. They just happen to make it. But if they were in
Okay,
any
like
genre,
cold wave,
it
I
would be
got you.
built. It's not. I don't know. Maybe
Cold
cold wave
wave
isn't the
E.
right word. More post-punkish.
That's what people
actually.
label it as cold wave, but to me it's
There's a-
so warm. It's so
Yeah,
fucking
I
So
agree.
it's
warm.
not
That's
like
why I tried to-
Doma
I
or
tried
that
to get
used
away
be
with
like
that.
No.
super
Listen,
like
it's like
cold
Molchat
and
Doma
detached
in
sounding.
No, it's much better than Molchat Doma. It's so
Much
much
better,
better
eh?
than Molchat Doma. It's so much better than all those bands that sound like Molchat Doma. There's so many bands that sound like that just suck, and I'm so tired of hearing them at this point.
Damn.
Yeah,
I heard it on Hot
there's
Takes.
2 songs. It's
Molchat Doma's good though. It needs to-
Colleen from their second album and A Great Design from their first studio album. That like I was like, holy shit, this is like what I want to make. I want to make modern synth pop,
I love seeing the arc with a lot of artists. Then there's nothing wrong with sampling, and there's nothing wrong with classic vapor. It's wonderful, beautiful music that moves people. But I've noticed, like with like Dan Mason or fashionista boyfriend, just people go from doing the sampling to, all right, I'm gonna make my own shit now from the ground up, and it's just a cool arc to watch.
Dan Mason was a big inspiration for wanting to switch over to just making my own music. That and like the Saint Pepsi fiasco, where I was like, I kind of want to like. For me, it's just like it just feels better. It fills me up more to like be able to write my own music, and it's easier when people ask me like friends and family who are like, oh, you make music, and at the time when I was sampling, I was like, yes, but it's really samples. It's not really like I'm writing it, so it got confusing. So now I can just
if you're
be like,
sampling, you're still kind of writing. You're still writing when you sample. I think
but
you're still creating
having to
something.
explain that.
It's like a remix. You're flipping a sample and you're chopping and
Yeah,
looping
you are.
it. You're chopping and screwing. I always ask people, do you know what chopped and screwed music is? And they're like, and usually if they do, it's like, great, it's like that, right?
Like,
With
you're cool. All right.
Yeah.
I don't consider vaporwave to be exactly chopping and screwing. I actually consider like the echo jams and or if you want to call it classic vapor, whatever you want to call it, I consider it to absolutely be songwriting, to some degree.
No, I totally agree.
Degree.
I'm not trying to
You know what I
dip
mean?
on sample-based music. I love sample-based music.
I do agree. It is different with like the DJ screw. The screwed up click is it's a different kind of vibe for sure than like modern vaporwave. It is more closer to echo jams, but
Slow.
I get that that's kind of like like the avalanches too. It's like that's kind of like where like the origins of like sampling kind of comes from, and like especially hip hop, especially
right
like
on,
that.
DJ Shadow and shit.
Oh yeah, DJ Shadow for sure.
Woo.
it's cool to see that kind of expanded upon and reinterpreted in different ways.
Well, wouldn't you say it's about time to start with the autobiographical section of the show, Chris?
Oh, yes, I would love to, because
let's get to know Digital Sex.
Well, you know, this is the thing about you in general, and Digital Sex and Dreaming Diary, and that I really appreciate is there's so many different ways that you've produced music, and it still always feels like you. So whether you're doing your sample-based work and putting your energy and your soul into that to create something different out of something that exists, it still sounds like you. And when I hear Dreaming Diary, I don't know, I still get that same vibe of even the sample-based stuff that was done in Digital Sex. So, you know, and it's fun because sometimes I can't exactly tell in some of the, was it all sample-based in Digital Sex, or were there some synthesizers used too?
Maybe like one or two, but
really?
like maybe it was all samples of like obscure commercials or just little snippets of sounds that I love it. Cool.
Well, so how long? So when did you start deciding that you wanted to make? When did you start making music? I mean, did you start at a young age? Are
you? My first like attempts were, I had a little Casio keyboard as a kid, and I would just make I'd make little mixtapes. I would just like, fucking like, key mash on the keyboard and just kind of make some shit. But it wasn't until later I really got into chiptune music and like trackers and semi-tracker, and I was like, I fucking love chiptune, and I wanted to.
It's crazy how many people started with chiptune.
Vapor, I know it started with that. So many people started with chiptune. It's like the pipeline. But with that, I didn't know music theory at all, so I was just kind of like, again, I was just like fucking key mashing, and just making whatever. But
I think we lost.
Then it was. Oh no.
It's okay. Keep it rolling. Oh, there he is. So you started with chiptune. You're back, buddy.
Chiptune. And then.
Oh, no, he's not. Shit.
Oh shit.
Hey, we'll troubleshoot on the fly.
Try to like use.
So, have you released any of your old chiptune work though?
No, I'm good.
It's all privated. I don't want to share any of it. It's not good.
I always joke with the people we bring on here. You gotta save it for the Patreon.
No, it's not worth for Patreon.
Come on.
Anybody paid
There's
money
some
for
Dreaming
that?
Diary mega fans, and they want to hear that shit.
I didn't get to hear it because the cat knocked over my computer for a minute there. Do you have training? Do you have training in music production or writing? I love that because I don't either. Nice.
Well, a friend who is really into theory taught me the basics one day, and I just went from there.
So
That's
you
when
have
I started
some
making original
training.
Music. Some, it's like YouTube Academy or whatever, and people,
Academy.
you know, and friends.
He's smarter than both of us.
But I'm still learning a lot. It's just through friends and through YouTube or through internet of just kind of learning theory.
No, that's sick as fuck. Unironically,
that's when I started doing actual like original music, because I was like, oh, this is how chords work. This is how progressions work. This is how all this works together, and that just like clicked for me. And I was like, oh, let me start actually making music. And that was the Dream Diary album. That was just me attempting to actually like make music for reals. Like, let's see what I can come up with. And I just kind of I didn't know what I was doing for most of it. But theory is great. I love theory. It really helps you figure out, like, it really helps you understand what you want to say and like be able to really explicitly communicate what you want to say. You know, it's a great tool.
I got you.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know any music theory. I mean, I know chords on guitar, but that's about it.
That's theory. You know.
I always thought that, you know, it was very interesting to it was always important to learn how to write a song rather than to master an instrument. So I always, when I would try to write music or still try to write music, I listen to music I like.
Chris, you're super hard to hear.
I try and
any way you could boost your audio a little bit?
What they did here, what they did there, how you lean to a song. I don't know, maybe.
We're losing Chris.
Yeah, if you could boost your audio a bit so the
no, I can't.
No,
so
you just did it. That's great.
I did it? Oh,
yeah.
Hooray.
We need these people to hear what you're saying, man.
Damn, this cat really fucked my shit up. Anyway,
in chat for Chris.
Knocked the whole damn computer over. So I always thought it was more important to learn how to write a song than to master, you know, an instrument or even to master, I don't know, what the chords mean. It is to get the feel of how it is. You know what I mean? Like, you just started writing music recently, you know, original music. So before that, were you basically listening to music you liked a lot and thinking about, well, how do I do my version of this? Let me pay attention to that song. Let me feel the energy of it.
Oh yeah, that's Black Marble. That was
okay.
It was them. It was Secret Attraction.
I love Secret Attraction.
Derek's a very good fan of both me and Isaac. Actually,
possible future guest.
So
actually,
good. I love what's the album? It's like the Pink album where it's like all red and pink.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one that has the Twin Peaks cover? Not like the cover of the album, but like they covered the Twin Peaks theme like halfway through the album.
I don't think so.
Well, everything that they've created is fucking amazing.
It was Blush, I think. No. Okay. Anyway, it was it was a few artists like that were like making like modern, like modern synth music, modern synth
right,
pop.
A little like a dream
really
pop influence.
Yeah, dream pop. Cocteau Twins especially.
Nice.
I fucking love Cocteau Twins.
Those you would say those are some of your greatest influences.
Yeah,
to,
Cocteau
at
Twins
least
for
what
sure.
you're doing right now.
Oh yeah, those three. Kurt Feldman of Ice Choir.
I love Ice Choir and Depreciation Guild.
Depreciation Guild.
If you're a chiptune fan, I know you're a Depreciation. Are you serious? That's sick.
I have the poster of this in Spirit Youth, which is like my #1 album of
that
all
album
time.
Fucks.
That album
kicks.
fucks, dude. Holy shit. I cried to that so many times.
Kurt
that
Feldman
shit
is
so
really good at what they do.
I am a stan for Kurt Feldman.
We're getting some questions rolling in, Sebastian. Syllabus wants to know what your favorite early 2010s Bandcamp dream pop act is.
2010. There's some cool like chillwave projects.
Yeah, right. I remember there was a little overlap
Yeah.
between chillwave and dream pop. With
Man,
Tamarin, were
2010 dream pop, like specifically dream pop. 2010.
Oh, who were the sisters? Piper and
Oh, you talking about the twin sisters?
Yeah, were they twins?
I know.
I know Lux knows what I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about as well. What the
They
hell's
were
the name of that?
great. Puro Instinct.
And there was
I don't know them.
Puro
there was
Instinct. They were great.
Trying to think.
They were real good.
2010.
I love them.
Trying to think. I don't remember a lot of like bedroom pop at the time. I was more into like the
come back to it.
chiptunes. In 2010, I was like hardcore.
Were you a Monster Cat fan?
No, I don't really do EDM that much.
Oh, word. Okay. Well, there was some chiptune on Monster Cat.
There's a bit, yeah.
Probably not like the.
It was mainly just like labels like Ubik Tune, Calm Down Kidder, Pause. Who fucking else?
I'm sure you're an Anamon.
Artists like Fear of Dark were fucking amazing.
Oh, Syllabus just name dropped Fear of Dark. Nice.
I fucking love Fear of Dark. Like that boy can write a song. Like the structure is so beautiful, and like the build up of it's so good. It's so good. Everyone listen to Motorway by Fear of Dark. It's so good. So fucking good. I can't think of any like dream pop at the time that in like 2010. I liked like Brother Tiger was pretty good.
Oh yeah,
great classic style. Mm-hmm. There's one song by like what was it, Kishibashi? I think is how you pronounce it. It's, I think it's Bright Whites. I was obsessed with that song in like 2010. It's like a very indie 2010 core, really cool, really like quirky music. I love that kind of shit.
I got you. Syllabus also wants to know if you have any hot tips for songwriting.
That's a good question. Good question.
Yeah, I want to know about your.
How do you? I would love to know about your process, especially since you just started doing it.
Recently. I typically, for songwriting, I feel like for the most part, you just need to figure out your chorus, your verse, and then your bridge, and then you can just kind of go from there. But for me, I just kind of figure out like a chord progression, and then I'll just kind of keep expanding upon that and writing melodies over that, and like figuring out drums, or I'll start with drums, and I'll start with, I'll just find a chord that I like, and just see like, oh, what do these extensions do? Like, how does that change it? Maybe I can use a borrowed, like modal interchange, or I can like do some cool things with it, like, or just study other songs and try to replicate their chord progressions too. Like with like a lot of songs, most of the information you need is like in the bass, like because they'll be playing they'll be playing the root note mostly of whatever chord is on top of it. because that's the structure of that's the point of the bass, is to provide that foundation.
Right.
So if you can figure out the bass note of that, you can probably figure out like the chords, and then from there you just kind of figure out like the most obvious note you hear is like the highest note.
Good.
Is it the highest? True. It's the highest, like the second highest, but it's like if you can figure that out, you can kind of like figure out like what chord is what, and from there you can just figure out what they're playing. Unless it's like some crazy jazz shit, like I don't know, they can be doing some free jazz. I don't, no fucking idea. You're on your own. You need a circle of this chart, some fucking giant steps. I don't know, man. This shit's too intense for me. But for most songs, it's just like a handful of chords, and you just figure out your three parts. You don't even need a bridge. Sometimes you can just do a chord.
It's a lot of songs that don't have a bridge.
Sometimes it's not.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's interesting too, because sometimes it's not really just exactly the chords too. It's how you're gonna play them. It's how much space you're gonna have in between each one that you hit, and how long you're gonna play one, or et cetera, et cetera. And that's an interesting thing too. Is it's the rhythm of writing songs, right? To give it personality.
Yeah. Figure out if you can make it like kind of swing. If you can like spacing out the notes, spacing out. Can you do like some kind of staccato kind of thing going on? Like that'll change the entire feel of the song. Don't just do like
the groove.
Do something that's like off the grid.
Yeah,
Syllabus says find that brown note.
Oh my goodness, I love syllabus.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I don't know. Just fuck around and find out. I guess.
Fuck around
and find out. You heard it on Hot Takes.
Damn, son.
Incarna wants to know, what is your favorite album that you've made?
Oh shit. Okay. I loved Night Mode, the last album I put out, but I made this one lo-fi hypnagogic pop album that like no one listened to.
Okay. That's cool.
It's on my Bandcamp. It's called Liquid Crystal by Suburban Twilight. It's like specifically like early 2000s like nostalgia.
Interesting.
Liquid Crystal by Suburban Twilight. I'm loving these titles. I wish InReal was tuned in right now.
It's James Ferraro inspired. It's like Rangers. It's just like kind of like digital lo-fi in a way, where it sounds like shit intentionally, in like a way that it's just really compressed, and like it's all in mono, and it's the idea of it was that you're a kid in like the 2000s in suburbia, watching TV late at night, and you get beamed into the TV via satellite, and you're just going through the channel. So every single song is like a different TV station.
That's awesome.
And it was such a specific sound that I wanted, and I like nailed it personally. And I was like, holy fuck, I love how this turned out. It's like really blorpy and just kind of like fun.
Did you say blorpy?
Blorpy, yeah. It's like blorpy synths.
I love
and
blorpy music.
Little blippy little sounds, and that's like, to me, that's like very Y2K. That's very like
just
2000s.
very like fat, like digital sounding blorpy.
Yeah,
like Autograph's music is blorpy.
Blorpy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for me, that was like something that I wanted to make for a very long time. If you guys know Boy Snacks off of
Beer on the Rug.
That was the biggest inspiration for that. Yeah, it's like I was like,
that was actually that was my
You know.
favorite Beer on the Rug release. Actually, was that Boy Snacks album. It was so fun. Even the cover of it looked like, I don't even know, like the opening of like a fucking sitcom or whatever.
That's legit like a top 10 album for me.
I love that album. That's my favorite.
And I was like,
Beer on the Rug album.
I was like, why is no one making more music like this?
Yeah, and I was like, why isn't
me do it? Yeah,
That's amazing. So that's what this album sounds like that you're talking about. That's amazing.
That's what I
I have not heard that album.
Literally
I feel like a Philistine.
No, you've mentioned a million albums.
No
I
one
haven't
listened
heard
to it.
But it's really good. They don't have any other releases aside from that one. That one caught my eye the most too. I remember back in like the early 2010s going through Beyond the Rug, and as I was mentioning, like just the cover of it looked like the still frame of like the opening sequence for like a like the font for it and everything. We just looked like a I don't know, like a sitcom like or something like.
No, it's legit like
voice
a sitcom.
acts.
I love
that. Sounds
so
fun.
I love that.
Fun. It's so playful and it just
really gets you.
So now I know what the word. Now I know what you're talking about when you say blorpy. Is that what you mean by blorpy? Like voice snacks?
Exactly. Yes,
Oh, that
exactly.
so that's definitely not like orograph then, sir. Orograph is a little bit more.
Blorpy is like vaporwave. It's whatever you make of it.
Touche. But blorpy is very silly too. Like Boy Snacks album was like a little bit.
So like
eyeliner.
Silly.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit, but a little bit more. But even a little bit more.
Tongue-in-cheek,
Yeah, a little like eyeliner. But now like push it into the absurd world a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like make it like yeah. There you go. Much better than the word blorpy. Me saying but like
F-Zero Screw wants to know, Sebastian, what your favorite analog piece of music equipment is.
I don't own any, but I'm a big simp for the Juno 60 and the Juno 106. I think it's just like a perfect synth. Or like the TB 303, that like acid sound is really fun.
I love that acid sound. I read somewhere that originally it was supposed to be a bass guitar synth.
Yeah,
but
they're like, oh, it's realistic, but then no one was like.
It sounds like somebody farting. Let's make awesome songs with it.
Yeah, because then it was like no one bought it, so it was cheap, and then it's like, oh, this is like a cheap piece of electronic gear I can get. Let's see what I can do with it.
See, that's squelchy.
DIY scene.
When the 303 is just nasty as fuck.
Squelchy.
That's squelchy. Chris, do you like 303s or not really?
Yeah, sure. Who doesn't like the 303, right? It's
I'm sure there's somebody in chat that doesn't like it.
It's got a very distinct sound, and it never fails. And when you use a 303, it cuts through every other sonic texture in the song.
It's your lead, so pretty much.
Yeah,
it's your lead. It's just like as soon as you introduce the 303 to a song, the 303 literally says to the other sounds in the song, "Step aside for a moment. I'm taking over."
Like a banana in a smoothie.
Yeah, like a banana in a smoothie. It's the banana in a
just
smoothie.
Fucking takes over, man.
So it's like, how can you not appreciate such an instrument with such presence? You know what I mean?
True.
So like, yeah, of course.
It's so unique and specific sounding too. It's like a jaw harp. Like everyone knows that sound.
But that's the thing. I know that if I use a lot of the music I write is a lot of different sounds put together in sort of a weird way, and I know that if I use a 303, it is going to become the star of the show. So I have to use it sparingly.
Yeah,
I know it'll become the star as I put it in.
Your volume levels are dropping again, man. You're like the Benjamin.
I don't know, man. I'm
like
not fucking doing anything. I'm just sitting here talking into a microphone. I'm not sure why that's happening.
Do you want to try the flanger again?
Yeah, dude. So before we started the show, Dr. Chris tuned in and had like a flanger effect on his mic, and it sounded like a telepath, like slush rack had been applied to his mic, and it was the funniest thing. So he goes, "Oh, let me fix it," and then throws this echo on there that had me and Sebastian in stitches.
So good.
I almost didn't want him to fix it, but y'all wouldn't have been able to take anything he said seriously for the whole 2 hours of this show.
It's fine. You probably shouldn't take me seriously anyway, so that's all right.
Well, you've got some knowledge, man.
I'm joking. I'm joking. It's funny.
Y'all can keep running up those questions though, but you got some more biographical ones for us?
Oh, like my origin story.
Chris always likes to know the origin story.
Yeah, I want to know what.
Oh yeah.
What was your first?
Let's quick. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah,
you know what
go
I'm gonna ask. I want to know what you listened to when you were younger that really moved you and made you kind of fall in love with music. Like, what was the first thing you listened to that felt like yours? Not exactly your parents, not your siblings or your friends. What was yours? What was that?
Ooh, fuck. The first track I remember, off the top of my head, the first track I remember that was like kind of like where I was like, oh, music can be different than pop was Once in a Lifetime by Talking Heads. My parents showed me that.
Oh,
and
wow,
I was like,
yeah.
Holy
That's
shit.
a good one.
You can be weird, you can be experimental. It's not pop. Music isn't just pop music. And they just went from there.
Interesting.
I mean, they played me a lot of like Earth, Wind and Fire, War, Al Green, like
great
all
stuff.
the smoothies, you know, like so like I'm super nostalgic for that shit. But something that I did, it was early college was I first listened to Loveless by My Bloody Valentine.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was like
amazing.
That'll do it.
That was a
With
game
no
changer.
layering.
That'll do it. That'll do just
That was a game
fine.
changer. I was like, holy you can do that, because I didn't like rock music at the time, and I was like, wait,
Interesting.
not really. I
What were
didn't
you into?
understand guitars, electronics, shit.
That's
chiptune.
cool. I feel like most of
But-
us had the reverse. We were into like rock music and then discovered synthesizers.
Yeah,
Because
that's me. Yeah, for sure.
I figured it was. I just assumed it was all like like AC/DC kind of like boomer shit. But
yeah.
but then a friend showed
I'm the
me
man
like
that rocks.
Midwestern-
Yow.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 27,
Okay,
so technically I'm
yeah.
technically a millennial. I'm
I
trying to
guess
think, actually, let me see if I have any like song. I'm trying to remember like what songs really inspired me as a kid. I guess. Let's see, because with it was Midwestern emo rock too. A friend showed me
Nice.
Formlessness by The World Is a Beautiful Place, and I'm
Oh, yeah.
ready to die. And I was like, oh, you can do pretty shit with guitars. Like you can actually.
Right. It's
Mm.
not just banging and rocking and
not just banging. It's
wailing.
it's crying too.
It's crying too.
yeah.
Crying too. Oh shit! Fucking Prefuse 73.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Like,
What
that's
one word extinguisher.
Holy shit! I bought
Yeah.
all of this. I have all of his CDs.
Oh my God! Since we last spoke, I
Holy
got
shit.
deep into Prefuse as well, and that was like maybe one of the
There was
first
so much
people
good,
that
like,
I was listening to.
90s,
got me into, like,
2000s electronic music.
Well,
Were you
Prefuse
much of a
73.
Luzine fan? Do you remember Luzine?
Oh, which one?
Do you remember Luzine?
No.
No? Damn.
think
okay.
so.
I think you would like
No.
it.
I want to talk about Prefuse 73. That was a big deal to me too, because that was interesting because it was sample based. It was a bridge between like electronic, hip hop, and just like sample based experimentation. You know what I mean? Like Prefuse 73 was like the meeting point of all that shit.
No,
So it was
dude.
like when you discovered Prefuse 70. When I discovered Prefuse 73, I remember thinking like, oh wow, like this is a lot of different things I thought that were separated from each other, but here they are coming together
Right, yeah.
in one
Oh, yeah.
interesting concoction. So like I got deep into him too, and that might have been like one of my first big electronic artists, because like I didn't terribly connect with a lot of electronic artists right away, but I definitely did with Prefuse. So I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah, that's another thing I
nice
like showing.
stew.
Like, oh, like it's like electronic music doesn't always have to be like EDM. It can be like
Right.
experimental.
Yeah.
It can be fun.
A lot
it
of
can
like the
be-
micro glitch and like IDM type sounds from the
Yeah.
2000s really have kind of faded from the
Yeah.
current like sound palette.
Yeah, they really have, haven't they?
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. That's
Electronic
interesting.
music used to be so fucking weird in the 2000s, man, and in
It
a good
really
way.
was. It really was.
Weird in the 2000s. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
you had like artists like CEX or Sex and
Oh fuck! I just
Sex,
remember
Venetian snares,
Oh,
all
fuck.
the ghostly
Venetian
people.
snares.
Just
yeah.
remember. Oh
or
shit!
Kid
I just
606,
remembered.
Kid 606, right? Yeah.
The
music.
biggest. I just remembered the
Thank
biggest
you,
inspiration to me. The biggest inspiration to me was Lemon Jelly. They're
Oh!
they're
Oh,
UK
I don't think I've
band.
heard Lemon Jelly.
A Tune for Jack. Fuck that song literally changed my life because I didn't know what sampling was at the
Tune for
time.
Jack. That sounds like an Aphex.
Tune for,
I'm
it's
interested.
so fucking
Interesting.
pretty.
I've never heard
Oh
it.
my god. It's because they were like this is like 90s. It was just like a duo and they're just sampling shit, and it's very, I don't know, it's very of its time, but it's just so pretty and like so quirky and fun.
I love pretty
and
music.
man,
And if you're a
check out
fan
that
of
song,
dream
for
pop
real.
or shoegaze, I know you're okay with sad music.
I tend to do more happy shit. I don't really do much like sad kind
All
of.
right. All right, I'll take it.
I like emotional and like kind of heart wrenching, but not like overtly sad. I guess
Damn, I fucking love sad music.
You're not into the melancholy.
not super. No, I think
Yeah?
the most I'll go is like maybe like some like Deaf Heaven or something. Like
Gotcha.
and that
Okay.
end, it's like
That's cool.
that's still kind of like uplifting. I guess that's my interest is like more.
Is
like,
that your musical hot take?
uplifting.
You don't like sad shit?
No, in places it can be good, but I would have to be in the right mood. But it's
Okay,
not
I
it's
can-
not my forte really. It's not my forte. I like more uplifting, like just kind of radiant positivity, like or even just like emotional shit.
Good for you.
We have some
that's very sweet.
questions in
I don't know.
chat that actually kind of apply to that.
Mm.
Syllabus wants to know what imagery you have in mind when you're composing. If you have any examples of imagery you
Ooh.
want to share with us.
I have a whole folder.
It is. Syllabus always has great questions. Thank you.
That's a great question because that's something we all do probably. Because I know I always put together a mood board for myself as well.
Really?
No, I
think a lot of us do actually, and we've never really discussed that on this show before. And damn syllabus.
I
always has questions.
Damn, good question. So go ahead. You were saying.
I have a whole folder of just images that I would like find online, and I'll just like kind of get sounds from. I think I posted a screenshot of the folder on Twitter one time. Yeah, let me just post that.
Please do. The chat would
for
really see that.
For the most part, it's just kind of dreamier, kind of unusual, kind of hazy images. But like, I'll just run across images and I'll just like kind of get a sound from that. Yeah. And I'll save that and I'll like reference that when I'm like making something, or I'll just like play like a YouTube video or something while I'm composing. Just kind of like get like a vibe.
Yeah.
I think it's a super powerful move to kind of figure out like what kind of aesthetic you want to go for. It's mainly it's really just kind of pretty, kind of a hashtag aesthetic images that I just kind of get. But like mood boarding is great. Yeah.
I think that a lot of us do that. And I don't think we've talked about that much on the show. I would say that a lot of, I know particularly in the early 2010s, just going on Tumblr all the time and just scrolling for cool imagery and thinking, and then getting inspired and going and maybe trying to compose something.
No, yeah. Heard it all. It is.
Thanks for sharing a tweet like that. It's the best way you could possibly answer to that.
Yeah, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
We had another good question earlier that somebody asked. Any written work, I think it was Droogie, any written work influence your early music taste?
I don't really read a lot.
Bruh, me either. I used to, but I've fallen off.
Written work?
Hard when we get older, you know? It's hard to find the time.
True. What have I read? Not. I'm sorry.
Maybe
not
like
really.
No. Hey, man.
Let me think about it. Yeah.
Well,
let me think about that.
It was. I don't create, but like, I don't think anything I've read influences my mixing. So.
I can't think.
Especially
of it
if you're into nonfiction, like,
Yeah. I forget his name. He did the album art for Flying Lotus's Pattern plus Grid World, I think. I was into comics at the time.
Sick.
It's just like surrealist comics. I totally forget his name, but it's like, just a kind of imagery.
What, Pattern plus Grid World?
Yeah, he did the album art for that, and I don't remember what his name was, but he's done a few books, like a few like comic anthologies, and they're just kind of like I always love like surrealist imagery, like Salvador Dali and just like others at the time, like Dadaists.
Nice.
But I feel like because I guess with like Dali, like his there's one piece where he it's just like a lobster, but it's like a phone. So it's like taking like elements from real life and like recontextualizing them. So I guess that could be an influence. So
Lux
just like
says she thinks she found him. Is it Theo Ellsworth?
Yes, it is Theo Ellsworth.
Amazing.
Oh, of course,
super
best
cool
detective.
Stuff. The album was Capacity in 2010. Capacity. Super cool book.
Very cool.
Super,
all right.
Super dreamlike. Super trippy. Really detailed sketches. Like really. Like every little like
surrealism is the move. I mean, for those of us that use music as a form of escapism, it makes perfect sense that, surrealism or Dadaism would be just hand
for
in
real.
hand.
So I can find like it's Theo Ellsworth. Good find, Lux. Good find.
Good find. Chris, do you have any other like formative or biographical questions you want to ask before I start?
Yeah, I do. How did you get into vaporwave?
That's an amazing question.
I think it was either Tumblr or I used to go on 4chan's music board. I still kind of do, just to kind of peek in and see.
Pretty sure I would say that's where the first fans of vaporwave start.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about people who made vaporwave and got involved in it kind of meeting each other in their group chats and in, being pieced together in Facebook groups or on different or like Last FM or et cetera turntable.
No, yeah.
But you have to actually also consider the story of the fans, of the people who took notice that there are all these artists doing things around each other, and I'm pretty sure that probably starts on the Moo board. That's I remember the guys on the podcast Slimewire. I mentioned that, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly right. That's where the fans started. Because I remember I used to go on RebeccaBlacktech.com, which was the search engine for Moo.
Yeah.
And I would like look my name up all the time. To see
that's what I would look up albums.
Yeah, exactly. I would say I'd agree with them and say like that's definitely where like I would say the fans begin to take hold is on that board. And so it's interesting that you mentioned that because I think we should talk about that more. Go ahead though. You were saying. So you probably
that's what I would also use that search engine to like just find. I would just like Google like vaporwave mega and I would just like download
sick
albums, because I didn't really know about Bandcamp really.
Lux says she doesn't agree with the Moo thing. I'm not saying that that's where the artists started, but I know that there were a lot of people there that were fans of vaporwave, and they would, on that board, it was like a pissing contest for who knew the most interesting obscure music, right? It was these kids coming on and flexing how obscure they were, and they would post about a lot of the vaporwave acts all the time, and then I think fan bases began to start there. I don't know if the artists I didn't. I wasn't even on Moo, but I knew it existed, and I knew people would talk about vaporwave a lot on it, and I would look myself up on it.
Yeah, it's good for that end, but it's a fucking awful website to be on.
Oh, dude,
it's an awful website to be on.
It's a fucking awful. I fucking hate it.
I'm not. I don't have
so
do you read?
I like dip in, and then I'm just like, all right.
Do you read your own Rate Your Music reviews?
I never. Oh God,
I've read a few of them. Yeah,
I won't go there.
They're also confused.
Chris doesn't read his.
It's a trap. Don't read it. Don't read it.
I don't go to that place.
It'll make you second guess
There's always
going to
be one person that has just the wrongest take, the objectively wrong take about your album, and it's going to keep you up at night.
My favorite review of Overgrowth was like someone was like, anyone could, you could literally just play some slowed down jams on your MacBook and play Rainforest sounds at the same time, and you would have gotten the same experience. And I'm just like, God, that's so funny, but like, you're right.
What was the division of labor like when you collaborated with OSCOB on that album? What parts can you say are distinctly you versus what's distinctly them?
We basically made the same amount of tracks, 50-50. I was mostly the latter end of the album, I think. The more like glitch, kind of electronic, kind of ambient.
The one that David Russo was obsessed with, Overgrowth, I think. Wait, that's the name of the album, is it not?
Yeah.
It's Complex, sorry. Overgrowth is the name of the album. Complex is the song. He put it on so many Dream Catalogue compilations.
I think... Oh, yeah, that's one I made. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was me.
The one with the girl talking about the trees being connected.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the most gentle things I've ever heard.
Someone on Rate Your Music said it was cringe. It was like cringe environmentalism, and I'm like, bro, fuck off.
Yeah, fuck
every eco-terrorist's favorite album.
I see Jeff's in the chat right now, Vape Error, and I
remember.
Hey,
what's up, Vape Error? I didn't know you VoIP.
I remember Jeff saying on a Rate Your Music thing that like, one time, like for one Vape Error album, it was like, what is this? Not experimental enough. And then Jeff does another one, and it's like, yeah, too experimental.
I know,
and it's
right?
like, what the fuck do you people want?
I played this to my girlfriend, and she left me.
So funny. So dude, it's a trap. Don't read your shit on there.
Yep. I
just keep
Digital
making
Sex
shit.
Scare the Hose album win.
Scare the Hose. That was the noise track on Overgrowth. That was the Scare the Hose.
The Scare the Hose track.
That was the Scare the Hose track. The one with the chainsaw.
That cover art is extremely iconic too. Very beautiful.
Oh yeah, that's James Webster. He did the album.
James Webster did the album artwork for
and the music video. It's on that compilation VHS tape that
we need to get him on Hot Takes. At this point, every time I see him, I'm like, I have to avert my gaze because I'm like, I don't know. We already had on, but we didn't forget about you. I promise.
No, James.
I was waiting for the Death Dynamic Shroud album to come out. We've already had everyone else from Death Dynamic Shroud on the show already, but I wanted the album to come out before we had Jeff. Before we, before I asked James,
True.
right? Like that was like the whole thing. That's like why we're waiting because I love James. He's a dear friend of mine. He's co-DJ Terminally Chill.
Yeah, so we have to have him on.
Chill. Yeah, of course. This is like we never like we're getting to everybody. You know what I mean?
He's
like,
very very quiet and gentle, but he's got these like piercing blue eyes. If he like looks at you, and, like locks eyes with you, it's terrifying.
No.
He's the kindest, sweetest person. He's so interesting and he's very funny. You know what I mean? Very sharp and quick-witted as well. He's DJ'd Terminally Chill with me at least 4 or 5 times.
Nice.
I need you to like shove that mic down your throat, or if you have something that you can use to turn it up, because you are.
There is nothing I can do
There's
aside
nothing
from
he can
talking
do.
to it.
All right.
You sound fine on my end.
Really?
I think it's just
Yeah,
you, dude.
you sound balanced on my end.
I have
right.
not done anything to this mic to make it lower or louder.
I'm turning you up as loud as I possibly can. Okay, it sounds good now.
All right.
All right, this is the fun part. Now I
All
get
right.
to ask you all of my deranged music opinion questions.
Sweet. All right.
I want to know what your favorite live show you've ever attended is.
Oh shit. I mean, besides ElectroniCON, that was pretty.
All right,
Legit,
let's actually go
you
into
know.
that. We're gonna
Yeah.
sidebar, Your Honor. What
No.
was your favorite experience over the ElectroniCON weekend, and what was the low point for you?
Ooh, that's a great
The
question.
low,
We
well, the
should
low
all
point
answer
was
that.
I ask all of my friends that. What was the high point? What was the low point?
trying to get the fuck out of New York, trying to fly
Oh,
out.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, I heard that was terrible.
That was
Did you
low
fly out of?
point.
Which one did you fly out of?
LaGuardia.
Oh, us too. We dodged a
But,
nuke, man. We left super early.
I ran into Dan Mason there, and we talked about anime and games.
Did
for
you
a
run
few
into
hours.
our Rosewood homies? DS dude and
No, just
because
Dan
they ran
Mason.
into Dan Mason too.
Yeah, he was like literally like right next to my gate, and we just
Sick.
shot the shit, you know. But I guess the high point was the Vaporwave set.
That
I'm
Vaporwave
very
set
biased.
fucked.
I'm very
man,
biased.
That's so fun.
And I know you're
very
in chat,
biased
man.
Vaporwave.
Like this fool
Very
was
biased.
climbing
So
the
fun.
girders like a monkey. I don't know where he gets that energy. And
I don't
everyone
know
was
where
like,
he gets
"Oh,
it
I
either,
loved
too."
seeing Saint Pepsi," and I was like, "I'm sure Saint Pepsi was amazing, but you really missed. You really missed out." First, he broke his laptop. Then he climbed into the ceiling, not literally, but almost. Chris, you saw. I'm sure, at least if you weren't physically there, you saw video footage, correct?
I saw both. Yeah, absolutely. I saw it. Absolutely.
Someone took a picture. I think it was Ognos, and he's just got this look on his face. He's like, it's like a feral look. It's just great.
He does, yeah.
That was probably my high
love that-
point
love
too.
that guy.
Or FM Skyline, or like the second half of Picture Plane set. I came into that second half of Picture Plane, and I elbowed my way to the front because I'm 5'4" and 34 years old, so I don't give a fuck. Hot take. Sorry. I'll say excuse me and I'm sorry, but I don't give a shit. I'm older than all y'all, and I'm smaller than all y'all, so I'm getting up to the front. And I did, and me and TWA, Sam Sachs, were just getting it to Picture Plane. I wish I had been there for his whole set. But enough about me. How about those food truck lines, y'all?
Oh,
I didn't even try.
I
I
wasn't
didn't
even
bother.
bother getting food.
I
at that
starved
place.
all day.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just
I
beer
mean-
for me.
I mean, but it's like what it's really. I don't know. It's difficult. That's like one of the things when you plan a festival, and it's one of the things one of the last things you consider is okay, feeding everybody. But
True.
It's difficult. I can't imagine organizing a festival. It seems crazy, but I would love to see more people do this. You know what I mean? Let's get some more Vaporwave festivals.
I don't think you could leave without coming back in.
No, you can't
That's the
leave.
thing, which is
No.
stupid.
Yeah, there was no
'cause,
reason.
like,
Well,
I'm hungry. I want to go get food.
that's probably
Yeah.
just the venue's policy. That's a lot of venues' policies.
Sucks.
That's like
Sucks.
most venues' policies these days. You know what I mean? If you leave, you can't come back. Just is kind of what the deal is these
Sucks.
days. So you can't like go out and like I guess bring more things in. Who knows? Anyway, what was the highlight for
Well,
you?
Yeah, the vapor.
Oh, Vaporwave set. That's right. Yeah.
For sure.
Who else did you see that, like, here's another question that I like to ask people.
Well, do I get to answer this question?
Yes, you do.
I
And
wanna
I'm
answer
sorry.
this
I'm
question.
gonna. You know what? You answer the question first, because then I'll have my follow-up question.
Perfect. All right. So, highlight for me is Giant Claw set. That was the most amazing
yeah,
thing
for
I've
many
ever
people.
seen in my life. That was phenomenal. That was earth-shattering. crazy experience to be to see that performed live and to be in Keith's presence while he was just orchestrating all those amazing sounds and just pulling every heartstring possible. And the phenomenal thing I loved about that set was that, and I was talking to Zobelli about this as well, was that
Shout out to Zobelli.
Everybody is hearing almost a different song when he plays. That man layers so many different interesting concepts, ideas, and sounds into every fucking nook and cranny of his song constructions that when you hear it, you're hearing a different song than everybody else is because you're attenuating to what speaks to you in it.
True.
And so, but everyone agrees it's awesome. Like me and John were talking about how like John was like, he's like, I'm crying during this set because I'm being moved by the sounds I'm hearing, and I see Enrail.
And John hates live music, so that's saying a lot.
And Rail is up there, and he's like headbanging to it, and he's like, we both think this is awesome, but we're both hearing it differently.
And then that's Tech and
fucking
and
masterful. Oh, I saw Tech going crazy to it, but that shit was masterful. That changes the way that you interpret music. That man, man is a genius. That is a different way of experiencing music and hearing music.
Did you see the Discoholic?
Oh my god, I was cracking up when he was hitting us like a bop it noises and shit every time you
Sebastian, did you see that?
With the cowbell?
No, that was cool too though. But on Randy's show, Discoholic was in the Discord and they were playing footage of Keith, and Discoholic was just triggering these fucking cartoon sound effects.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Like
it was
Scooby-Doo ass fucking like sound
It was
effects.
like it was
Lux
his
is gonna
pads
find
were
a clip.
like a bop it or something like that.
From their stream.
From the live stream, they
just
did
cartoon like
Randy.
Looney Tunes sound effects every time Keith would hit the whatever that thing is called. I think we asked him about it on our episode, but I can't remember what he referred to it as.
Drum pad, yeah.
Yeah. So Chris, that was your highlight, and a great
that and
great
that
pick.
and also getting to meet Vapor Memory, who I've wanted to meet for a long time. You know, I've
Shout
been
out
wanting
Vapor
to meet
Memory
him.
for streaming so many of these sets.
Been wanting to meet him for a long time. You know, been friends with him for a long time, and really always appreciated him and just who he is and how his love for music and the way he experiences it, and how much he's done for me and everybody else, honestly. So I really wanted to meet him, you know, in person and give him a hug and say thank you. And
I did not get to meet them, but they sound like a badass person, and I really wish them nothing but the best.
Wonderful human being with an extremely radiant energy about them. Yeah.
Sick. So what was the low point for the weekend?
Oh boy, low point for the weekend.
Yeah, keep it spicy.
Boy, gosh, I really had such a good time. My low point for the weekend was just like there was people who I wanted to meet in person that I didn't get a chance to. Like I didn't get a chance to talk to Molo or some other.
You missed out.
Yeah, I know I missed out, and there's just people that I didn't get a chance to say hi to. And I think the low point for me is that just there's not enough time. There's not enough places for me to go. There's not enough time.
You know what the low point is? You missed the tape swap. And we missed you bad.
For as long as I wanted to, you know?
I know you couldn't make it, but we wanted to. I just wanted to see you there so bad.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, the tape. Yeah, that's a low point.
There must be like a delay.
I missed the.
Think about it.
No, you cut out for a second. Yeah, I missed that, and I'm very upset that I missed that, but I had to work.
I know
because. Man. It just is what it is. It's a shame, but you know what? It's a call to us to maybe try and figure out.
And what is it you always say?
We
have the rest of our lives.
I stole that from George, actually. So yes, we have the rest of our lives. I stole it from George. But guess what? He stole the summer camp line from me. So we're all good. That's a form of appreciation. I love it. I was very
all right, fellas. Here's my follow-up question for y'all about ElectroniCON. What was the sleeper hit for you? And actually, I think I can thank my friend Haley for this question. Was there any act that you saw where they were like way better than you thought they would be? And we're not going to ask who the overrated act was. That's mean-spirited. But like, was there anyone that you saw that you were like, damn, this fucked harder than I thought it would be?
Runners Club.
Oh yeah, Runners Club.
They were really fun to talk to.
They're really fucking good.
I knew they were going to be good.
They're
so fun.
Sweet. They're so nice.
Carl had such stage presence. I knew Runners Club was going to be good, but I didn't know they were going to just ease into that role of like leading the audience the way they did, and it was so fun.
They're super fun, super energetic.
Hell yeah. They were very kind and sweet to talk to as well.
They're so sweet. They're so
Came
sweet.
from so far away. Came from Sweden. I was telling them. and they're so good. The music was so good, and I came in. I'm like, God damn it, you Swedes! As if it's not enough that you invented pop. As if it's not enough that you invented pop music. You have to come here to deconstruct it better than all of us do. Like,
they posted a super cool tweet or video or something, and they were like, "So we learned how to make vaporwave from Frank Javc's How to Make Vaporwave, and now he's like headbanging during our set."
I saw that clip. That's fun.
No, look, that's the thing. Like their music videos and their live shows are like I complimented them on their production quality of like their videos, and they were like, "Oh yeah, thanks. We don't really know what we're doing. Like we're just like on YouTube, learning how to produce videos." Right. And I'm like, I thought you guys were like industry veterans, but you're just like
there's some fucking raw,
fucking winging it. Like what the
scene.
fuck, dude? The quality on display is unreal.
So your answer was Runners Club. Chris, do you have a act that you saw that surprised you with how much, I don't want to say better they were than you thought they would be, but you know what I mean?
It's funny because like I've seen a lot of these guys so many times now. Actually, boy, Runners Club is a really good answer though. That's the one because you knew they were going to be good, but I didn't know they were going to be able to do such good crowd work too. You know what I mean?
Videodrome says it. Hotel Pool's outdoor stage was super chill. I wish they had turned him up louder. Hot take.
Yeah.
He was too quiet. I could hear what everybody was saying, but overall, Hotel Pool's set was badass.
Yeah, that was great.
And Christ's set went way harder than I thought it was going to.
John's set was great. That was one I knew John was going to be good.
It was the most cursed thing
but it
ever.
was so fun. John's set was such a fun party. You know what I mean? It was so fun and playful. And when he dropped the Rickroll in the middle of it, I was like,
God! I cut the video. I have the video, and I like cut it off immediately. I was like, nope. You're not getting me today, buddy.
Not getting my ass.
And it's great because it's like, you know those videos on Twitter where it's like the cut at just the right time? It's like that. The fucking Rickroll. Shout out Christ. I tried to compliment
and it was really
John
fun too because it looked like John was having a really fun time doing it too. Like that was just, it's always a pleasure when you see
standing
John
there moving his head just a little bit, not smiling.
Love it.
He's having
like a little smile. I love that guy.
I complimented him. We had dinner with John and Randy and Frank on Sunday night, and I was like, "Hey, man!" And John's a little, forgive me, he's a little intimidating because like he's got kind of this like, almost like crotchety old man vibe to him. But I don't know if he intends to do that. But it's just I really liked your work, man. Your set went way harder than I thought it would be. And he was like, "What do you mean? Why is that? What were you thinking it was going to be like?" And I was like, I don't know. I meant that as a compliment. Like, it went hard. And he was like, have you not heard my latest album? I was like, oh my God, John.
Yo, I love that guy. That's phenomenal.
I'm not going to do the John voice. I'm sorry.
That's so
funny. best taste in music. And
he's so cool.
Curated the best record label.
Come on, man.
I
the compliment.
He's such a critical thinker. He's so funny too. If you have a chance to.
Oh, they want me to do the John voice. What do you mean? Haven't you heard my work?
Time.
Have you not listened to AD?
Isaac, that was really good. Really good. That was really good.
Come on, Mr. Skelly, man. You have your own podcast.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That was when I was on the funny.
All right. So yeah, Christ was mine. Good answers, guys. So all right. I'm so sorry that we sidebarred. I did want to know what your favorite
that was
live
an
show
important
was.
sidebar.
No, that was great. That was great.
Was there anybody I want to sidebar more about this.
Yeah,
was
let's
there
do
anybody
that.
you met? Was there anybody you met at Econ that you were like really I've been friends with that person a long time. I can't believe I finally get to meet them. This is what a nice thing. What a nice experience. Was there anybody?
There's so many. Are you talking about like friends for a long time, or just like excited to meet them?
Could be either one. Sometimes
there's too many people.
Anyone stand out?
It was cool to meet Dan Mason. It was cool to meet. I think he's in chat. Fucking Soft Replica.
Soft Replica.
Soft Replica.
Soft Replica.
I'm so happy that I got to see Soft Replica.
Chill dude. I wish I could have hung out with them more, but yeah. Them and Dan Mason it was just like cool to like meet them in person and just find out how like chill they are and just kind of like just shoot the shit. It was really chill.
Yeah.
Really chill.
I got to chat
nice.
JRPGs with Dan on Sunday, and it was very enjoyable. Like, there's a
part
part
we did too.
I've met many people, but there's a part of me that still has a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, oh, I don't belong here amongst all these.
You're the best DJ.
Thank you.
ever.
You're too kind, but there's still a part of me that's like,
I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it.
I'm bothering these people. So, I was like, hey, what are some JRPGs you can put me on that I've, I've played all the Final Fantasies. I've played a lot of the Dragon Quests. What are some you can put me on? And this fool, stopped and, talked about it at great length with me. And then I was like, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And walked away, and he, followed me. And I was like, this is cool. Making friends.
Making friends.
That's what it's all about. Yeah, pretty much everybody.
I loved meeting Quiz.
There.
What's up, Quiz? Quiz is so cool. I'm so jealous you get to see Quiz all the time, Chris.
Oh, Quiz is awesome. He's
Quiz
so
crashed
funny,
at our
energetic,
hostel
smart.
Thursday night.
Oh, that's awesome. He's just such a positive and intelligent person. Just great.
Extremely positive, full of energy. I had a little bit of a heart-to-heart with Quiz, actually, while we were walking around on Thursday, where I was.
I love that.
I really don't know if it was just literally what I just said, where I was like, I don't know if I have the confidence to come up to people and ask them for stuff. All right, let me back up, and I'll make it quick. My little brother Sam was supposed to come with us. He was going to fly from Austin, Texas to New York City, and he was going to bool with us all weekend. And he got the coronavirus one day before he was supposed to fly. Yeah, man. So I got him a shirt, but I was like, all right, I got to go above and beyond for this guy. And I got a little notepad at one of the Walgreens. And Chris signed it, so he remembers. But I was like, I'm going to get everybody to sign it. I'm going to get my friends, of course, in my collective to sign it. I'm going to get every artist that I like or have had on Hot Takes or that I can bend their ear to sign this notepad. And I got everybody. I got George. I got Neggy Jimmy. I got St. Pepsi. I got Picture
You
Plane.
are such
Everybody.
a good brother. Such a good brother, man.
It was
That's
what
so
I
nice.
would have wanted done. So I just did it for him. But I was talking to
Very
Quiz,
cool,
and I was
man.
like, I've literally had these people on our show. But, I don't know if I can just, walk up to them and be like, hey, can you do this? I don't feel like I deserve their, attention. And Quiz, how do you do it, Quiz? You walk up to anybody, and you just demand their attention, within seconds.
Yeah.
And, it always goes over super well. How do you do it? And I don't really remember what Quiz said because I was probably, really tired from walking around. But they gave me the boost and confidence that I needed, and I appreciate that, Quiz.
I said Quiz is I have so much less right to anyone's attention than you do.
Sorry. My monologue is over, but
charisma.
yeah, loved meeting Quiz. Were there some other people that you really enjoyed meeting, Sebastian, that you didn't get a chance to name drop yet? Because Soft Replica is a very good friend of mine, and I loved seeing them there too.
Man. I mean, obviously, Alex of Pacific Plaza, it was cool to actually,
he's great.
We released with them, it was cool to actually meet them. Just, it's cool to just meet people and, feel their energies, you know?
It was a bit
just,
of, a family reunion, wasn't it?
It's just so chill. Of course, John Zobelli of Business Casual, Wizard of Loneliness. It's just cool to, meet people and put faces to names, or names to faces, I should say.
I like what you said about kind of being the presence of their energy because it's just interesting to see what makes them an individual. You know what I mean? How they
exactly.
They carry themselves. One's very, very different from each other, but still on the same wavelength.
Yeah, because your online persona is so different than your actual real life self. I feel like you don't really know somebody until you actually meet them in person and actually interact with them.
Well, I had never seen. Maybe I just didn't dig deep enough, but I had no idea what you looked like.
No one
really
did.
About you, and you came up to me.
I didn't either. Yeah, I was
And
like,
you
no one does.
You're gonna be on the show soon.
And I had a mask on, and I don't judge people who didn't want to mask up. That's fine, but I masked up because I'm not getting no fucking coronavirus.
No,
and you had a mask on too, and so it was like, "What's up, buddy? Who are you?"
Hey, I'm gonna be your guest in a week.
And I was like, "Oh shit, it's Digital Sex." I think I went in for the hug immediately. I'm a hugger.
Literally every interaction on ElectroniCON was like that. It was like, hey, buddy, what's up? And it's like, hey, you actually do know me.
There were so many people I met that were like that. You must have it real bad, Chris, because everyone knows who you are, and people probably walk up to you, and you're just like, what's up? How do I know you?
Oh, I'm pretty good at remembering most people, though. I really take it. I really, I pretty good at remembering people. Not always best with names, but very good at remembering but remembering people and just what makes them interesting and unique. Like I try to zone in on that a lot with everybody I meet for the most part, particularly in the vaporwave world, because everybody is so interesting and fascinating and has an interesting like way of carrying themselves or backstory or tastes. And yeah, there's something very special about everybody that I meet, particularly in vaporwave, and I have a little knack for zeroing in on that and appreciating it, and so I don't mind it. I like it when people makes me feel very very happy and special and validated that people want to come talk to me and remember me and care about what I have to say to them. That's very sweet. Makes me feel good. I was there with Wendy too, so she could see all these people that I meet her. A lot of people knew her too, obviously, from how I talk about her online, etc.
It was nice to see her again.
So it was really, it's fun. Yeah, the Vaporwave Festival thing for me is just so strange and interesting because I was there when it started, and it's I can't believe this thing I love so much has a little gathering point for all these people,
right?
And I just like, it's so funny. Like I never would have imagined. I never could have imagined. You know what I mean? But I also did know it was going to be important, and I know it would continue to be important because it did feel like, this is like a lifestyle sort of thing that's being created, and that doesn't happen very often. Like, there's goth, there's punk. These are things that have music and ideas associated with them, and also fashion and art. And I saw vaporwave as another version of one of those things. You know what I mean? I think I use the word paradigm a lot. And I saw that as being something, being more than just a music, more than just a movement, but like a whole identity for some people, and that's kind of fascinating. You know what I mean? You rarely see that. That doesn't happen very often. That's so much more interesting than just being a specific music. You know what I mean? There's so many specific. There's so many musics. So many genres. There's so many ways of making music, and like. But for something to move above that and become identities for people and ideas and concepts and, like these like paradigms, right? That's really fucking rare.
Yeah.
So I think it's really fucking.
It's got a whole like unifying.
Yeah. So I always kind of like laugh a little bit when I see people try and reduce vaporwave. Try and make it smaller, and I'm like,
I love the description of vaporwave on like r/vaporwave, where it's like global capitalism has ended, and it's just like. All right, y'all.
I mean, I still do think that vaporwave in general is like an anti. I still think that vaporwave has. Maybe other people don't agree with it, but I think that making vaporwave is still a political move. You know what I mean? Because you're operating outside those
very punk
paradigms. Yeah, you're operating outside those paradigms that have locked you out. The indie. The indie corporations will not put your music out. They're not going to work with you. The big corporations are not going to put your festival together for you. They don't have any interest in it. So you have to do it yourself. You have to be the corporation yourself, right? And then hope that you can take that responsibility and make a better world for us all.
We got a great question in the chat.
You know what I'm
saying.
saying.
Vape Error, guys. Vape Error wants to know if you've ever played any shows as Digital Sex.
I've played a few URL Twitch shows as that.
You are from kind of the same neck of the woods, aren't y'all? I want to say.
Yeah, we're both Atlanta boys.
Very cool.
He's a good buddy of mine. We were trying to play a show together, but it didn't happen.
You're both
and it was
Atlanta
just,
boys.
It wasn't happening, but
damn.
And I would love to play like legit live shows. I'm ready to turn up. I'm ready to turn up. Please,
hell yeah.
Venues, please book me.
I mean, that's one of the things that I love. I mean, I'm just getting started. I've played a few shows. It's finally getting to the part.
Walk up.
Vape Error says he trashed your ass.
He's talking
Mario
trash.
Party.
Talking fucking trash.
Which Mario Party?
Can I ban his ass? Can I hang on?
Are you a mod?
What?
I don't think
mod?
so.
Can I ban his ass?
Can you ban him with your mind?
God, whatever.
I would love to play Mario Party with you and Vape Error. Just say when,
dude.
and I'm there.
Yeah.
Now Mario Kart, y'all can have, but
we love Mario Kart. So
I'm so bad at racing games, bro.
It's just drifting, dude. It's just drifting.
It's just drifting, and
It's
then Dr.
drifting.
Chris can
learn to
hang
drift,
out and
man.
watch.
Yeah, man.
I like watching people play video
fun.
games. That's fun.
Everyone
gets so excited. I love it.
I love it when I meet people at a show that I play, and they're like, "I would love to play. How do you get to a point where you can play live?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah, it's like
make friends, like do it. But yeah, it's so cool how many people have skills and talent. They just need someone to take a chance on them. I mean, and Chris took a chance on me, like, not to make this about me, but like that guy right there across from me and the other CRT can be directly thanked for, you know, what's going on with me. Go to other live shows. Absolutely.
No.
Converse
I
with
wasn't
people.
taking a chance on you. I already knew you were really great.
Don't
it was
just,
like not even much of a chance. I already knew you were great. I'd watched all the DJ sets you used to stream.
And we talked. Thank you, man. We talked about this extensively as a hot take in one of the episodes. Like, go converse with people. Put them on stuff. Like, pay attention to what they like. Show them stuff you think they'll like. Like, make organic relationships with people. Going to other live shows helps a lot. If you're kind of an introvert or you just like really don't like leaving your house like me, I mean, shit, join a Discord. I don't know, but like, you guys probably know better than I do what to do. Business hugs, Lux says. Speaking of live shows, what's the worst live show you've ever attended?
Nice segue.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
I'm an expert.
I can't think of the worst, but the most kind of painful that just kind of hurt me was it was seeing My Bloody Valentine.
Wow. Dish.
It was okay, so it's they're amazing.
Tea.
They're amazing. The fucking venue is so loud. It's like all fucking low end and mid.
Well,
I know,
good,
like,
because Loveless had no low end at all.
I know all their songs practically, and half the show I could not tell what the fuck they were playing. It was just that.
Are you saying you're a bigger Slowdive fan than My Bloody Valentine?
No, I was literally wearing a My Bloody Valentine t-shirt today.
All right, guys, you got your
Oh, wow,
My
look
Bloody
at
Valentine.
that. I'm glad to see someone else on my team. I mean, I love Slowdive as well.
It was just mixed like shit, man. It was.
Do you think it was their sound guy or what?
I was like, how do you mix shoegaze in a live setting? Like, I think that this is hard in general, you know? It's like how the fuck, and you got layers of that.
Did you
like,
wear
how the fuck
earplugs?
Are you mixing that? They literally gave out earplugs because they're like, you're gonna fucking need this, bro. I'm gonna give you hearing damage, bro. Here you go. You had to. It was the loudest thing I've ever heard.
Wow.
The coolest thing though was at the end, for like 5 minutes straight, they just played their instruments as fast as they could, and it just sounded like a fucking jet taking. It sounded like a fucking jet taking off. It was amazing. Wow. That was the best part of the show.
When did you see them?
2018, 17. When they were doing their tour. Nice. I got lucky enough they're touring near where I was living.
I've noticed that a lot of shows in the late 2000s, early 2010s always finished with a bang. It seems these days a lot of shows kind of finish with a whimper, which is fine. But like, am I the only one that, like, in the late 2000s, everyone had to end their set with like an experimental like wall of sound? Even Moom I saw live.
I love that.
And Moom like shook the floorboards. You remember Moom? That like cutesy little Icelandic, freak folk band. Well, some of the loudest shit I've ever heard was 2007.
Too loud, man.
Oh, interesting.
Too loud, man. I actually want to talk about, speaking of like engineering and shit, it's like with ElectroniCON, that fucking space is not meant for live performances, man.
Yeah, tell us.
It was just all like, it was so muddy and like.
There were a lot of problems with people's audio dropping out.
I mean, just like mixing in general, like it didn't, even in like the outdoor stage sounded the best for sure.
Yeah.
But, like,
do you think the sound people phoned it in?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of venues just do that. They'll just boost the fucking low end and like the subs way too much, and it's just like a.
I mean,
like
live, I think Lux's set sounded great, but if you watch
Lux's set sounded good.
It's just like bass boosted.
Yes. Like, I don't know. It's just the space too. It's like this huge warehouse that they made like. Well, I don't know what they even did in it. Like, it's like a repurposed warehouse. Like, it's not made for like live sound, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that was the biggest bummer. Is just like it wasn't the best in terms of like. But the club stage sounded good because it's a smaller space and everyone's packed in there. It's absorbing a lot of that sound. But like the main stage, it was just like echo, like Rumble City.
Was it a
and
repurposed glass factory? That
think
sounds
it
like that's
was.
what Vape Error is saying. It used to be a glass
I think
factory.
it was.
If
yeah.
anybody here had VIP access or just happened to find a way to sneak down, there was a like dungeon area down underneath with where they had like another show going on that same night, and it was like a techno like show. Chris,
really?
you would have loved this shit. It was terrifying down there. I don't know what was down there. It was literally like a oubliette or some shit, and it was dark as fuck, and like the scariest looking people you've ever seen were coming in and lining up to come in.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah.
Wait, it sounds
BDSM.
sick.
Vape Error says BDSM cage. Yeah, that's basic.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
dude.
Okay, so I'm the Philistine here, but like, I guess I'm a babe in the woods when it comes to that culture.
What, like kink culture? Or
Not
what?
kink culture necessarily. I've seen some shit, but like just techno dungeon core.
Techno dungeon core.
It's an aesthetic for sure. I love that.
That
Like
does sound
cyber
like
goth
that.
kind of shit.
I don't know. I would have been down there, and if like like when you turn the light off in the basement, and you're like run up the stairs, even if you're like 34 years old, you're like, oh shit, something's behind me. That would have been me at the techno. Someone would have been like, hello, it's good to see you, and I'd been like, like, I gotta get out of the techno dungeon.
Get out of the techno dungeon.
It's where all the goth babes are, dude. You gotta stick around, you know.
All the big titty goth GFs are
All the
down
big
in
titty
the
goth
techno dungeon.
girlfriends are. Yeah, they're all in the goth dungeon, dude.
Well, you did
Anyway.
mention you are a little bit of a sorry, I almost said cinephile,
I
audiophile.
thought you could say simp. I was like, nah, man.
A simp.
No, I love music. I love audio, sound, music.
What do you do for work right now?
I do. I'm a freelancer for just sound mixing, boom operation. I think I mentioned in the pre-show.
pre-show.
If you guys have seen like those guys with like the big like boom microphones and like film sets, like I'm kind of that.
Sick.
So I'm a sound mixer and do some audio editing, cleanup, sound design.
Do you do mixing and mastering?
No,
No.
I'm still learning to do that because there's similar principles with like sound design and like audio cleanup, but with like music, it's also a bit different too.
Yeah,
A
understandable.
bit. There's some overlap, but it's like there's some differences that it's like it doesn't apply to like dialogue cleanup, you know.
Oh yeah, good point.
I love audio sound music. A quote from Digital Sex.
I love audio sound. I do love audio sound. Bro, audio is so cool. It's just fucking
The
vibrations.
hills are
in air.
alive with the audio sound music.
It's just
Vape
it's
Error
just changes.
2022.
It's just changes in air pressure. That's all it is, and then our ear interprets that as sound. You know,
Like
so
that.
fucking
Like,
cool.
That's
You
very
know?
cool.
I've been
I like that.
rolling little hot takes that I've been curating from
Clear.
former guests that I acquired over the weekend, and
Those are
I can't
amazing,
wait.
by the way.
They're
Like,
fun,
those
right?
crack me up. They're
I can't
so
wait
fun.
to roll out Equips because he goes, music isn't real. It's just air.
It's not. It's not. Yeah, no. It's not
It's just
real.
air.
It's just fucking air, dude. It's amazing. We can like learn to like love and cry.
All
and
these people
feel,
at the
feel
giant
so
call
many
set,
things.
it's just air, guys. Calm
You
down.
feel so many things through just changes in air pressure. It's fucking magic, dude. I
That
love
is
that.
so magic. I love the way you put
And
that.
then
That
like
was
every
beautiful.
vibration, it's just
That's beautiful.
vibrations too. And every frequency can be attributed to a key too. So like technically, like everything is music. You know, everything is a frequency. You can attribute anything to a key to music. You know, it's all music. It's all related. You know.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
I
I
love that.
love
That's
sound.
gorgeous.
What are
I
some
love audio sound.
What are some
It's audio.
examples?
It's 420 hertz.
Sebastian, if you could name like a track, album, or artist that is your favorite example of vaporwave, or even your own, like if you have a genre of music that you like more than vaporwave, what would be like?
Shoegaze.
Shoegaze. Okay, I love shoegaze.
Shoegaze.
All right, so
Fucking love shoegaze.
honestly,
I
okay,
love
listen.
it.
Before I discovered chillwave, I thought I'd be a shoegazer forever. What is the
Said that
track, album, or artist that you think is the best example of shoegaze? Pick one. Track, album, or
Oh,
artist.
jeez, man.
We're
The
hitting you
best
with
example of shoegaze.
the-
Well,
Yeah.
I have a.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me
World
look-
is spinning.
I have like an 8-hour playlist. Let me look through this.
Let's link and like exchange
Please.
because I was huge
Alright.
into the like 2000s new gaze scene. I've got so much
Yeah.
good shit I could
Yeah,
put
let
you
me,
on, and I'm
um,
sure vice versa.
I would say for most people start with My Bloody Valentine's Loveless, but like in terms of like in terms of like the best like example of shoegaze,
Yes.
fuck, dude, that's hard because there's so many different styles.
Try your best.
There's okay. There's
Go into the
cool
styles.
song.
Do it.
There's a cool song. Okay, there is a song that kind of goes over kind of different styles, more like poppy and more like wall of sound. It's Red Sea from the band
Asobi Sexu.
Asobi Sexu.
That's right.
Or it's like really poppy
that
and
song
pretty,
is
and then
fucking beautiful.
It just fucking evolves into this fucking like.
It just goes nuts for like.
Holy shit!
That album's
like,
amazing.
It's
Citrus,
a 7-minute
right?
song, and it's holy shit. If you want to know what shoegaze is, just listen to that.
Listen to Red Sea by Asobi Sexu.
Holy shit, dude.
Thank you for that recommendation, guys. That's a good
Let me link my 8-hour.
Were you much of a shoegaze fan ever, Chris, or not really?
Oh no, I love shoegaze music. Of course, it's phenomenal. Big fan of it. But I probably am not as deep into it as you guys are.
Oh my god,
I definitely.
I'm deep, bro.
Listen,
are you a fan of Rumskib?
No, it sounds like an ancient curse. What is that?
Rumskib, I've been told by many people, they're like, this is the most early 90s sounding shit I've ever. This is the most 480 records shit I've ever heard. But it was a Finnish guy named Keith Canisius with Manual. I don't know if you guys remember that 2000s electronic artist Manual. And they made an amazing album. I'll link it to you later. Oh, my God, Lux. An angel without wings. She has dropped the link.
Already done it. Amazing.
Vape Error wants you to pronounce the name of a well-known, what would you call that, post-hardcore band in the chat.
What is it, Ramenstein?
No, scroll up some more. Hey. It's got the face icon, the lol icon next to it.
Is it Fugazi?
Is that how we pronounce it? I don't know.
Fugazi. It's of course
Fugazi.
Fugazi.
Hey, Fugazi.
Now, pronounce the other artist's name. A couple of texts below that.
Oh, is there another one? Wait, hang on.
Yes.
Below it?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
So
it's not Ramenstein?
No. Find
German?
the pronounced Fugazi message and go down a few. Yeah, Chris, that's right. How do you say it?
Dreaming Diary.
Right above that.
Oh, Nujabes? I just say Nujabes.
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 No,
I think I said Nujabes on an episode, and I got reamed.
I think it's Nujabes, right? I don't know. It's he can't correct us, so I don't really know.
Oh my god, you heard it on Hot Takes.
I don't know. It's what it is. Nujabes, you know.
I think that's correct. Nujubes.
Nujubes.
Says they took our Jabes.
Nujabes. Why don't you go find a Nujabes, dude?
Okay, we're gonna play Marry, Fuck, Kill. All right, you guys familiar with Marry, Fuck, Kill, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, and she says interesting.
God damn it! All right.
Fun, so fun. All right, Marry, Fuck, Kill. Cocteau Twins, My Bloody Valentine, Slow Dive.
Oh my fucking god! Was
so
hard.
I would love to marry Elizabeth Fraser of Cocteau Twins. I think that'd be like, yeah. I feel like My Bloody Valentine would just be.
Hey Barry, you're.
They'd be fun. They'd be fun to mess around with. I think. I think My Bloody Valentine would.
I'm like not literally saying the actual members of the band.
Okay. No,
okay. You're familiar with Marry, Fuck, Kill, are you not?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's usually about actual people and not like an identity, you know.
I
would
Halstead.
I would fuck My Bloody Valentine as a concept for sure. Okay. I love their. It's like they're like a one night stand kind of situation, you know.
Right.
You know, it's like a thing in passing, you know.
You're doing really good with this question.
I don't want to kill Slow Dive.
You have to kill somebody, and you made the wrong choice. This episode is over.
I don't want to kill Slow Dive.
Well, you didn't want to. Your hand was.
Can I also fuck Slow Dive, or is that out of the question?
Is that out of the question?
Fuck all of them, actually.
Can I fuck all of them?
Sexy.
Like the yeah.
All right, Chris. Marry, fuck, kill. Cocteau Twins, My Bloody Valentine, Slow Dive.
Same answer as
Same answer. You guys are wrong for that.
What's
Marry,
yours?
Slow Dive. Fuck Cocteau Twins,
yeah.
kill My Bloody Valentine. I said it.
No, I'm the team the other way.
I know. Everybody is.
Not really. I think most people come in and say they like Slow Dive more when you ask this question.
True.
I know, chat. What is it? Do we like
Yeah.
MBV or Slow Dive?
I think it. Man, I don't know. Lux agrees with you guys.
Oh, Slow Dive. They're gonna use that in court, Lux. Don't type that in chat.
They're gonna use that in court.
Dude.
I want to do this with early vaporwave acts. Marry, fuck, kill. I don't know. Vectroid. 1-0 Tricks Point Never.
Fuck.
Who should the third one be?
James Ferraro.
I mean, that's an easy one for me. I was never a huge James Ferraro fan.
Oh, really? Shit.
No. And it's really hard to say this, but marry Vectroid, fuck 1-0 Tricks Point Never, kill James Ferraro.
No, don't kill James Ferraro. I love James Ferraro.
Well, all right. So, are you marrying James Ferraro? Is that how it is?
I'm probably marrying Lenotrix. I think he could I think he'd be like a good dad.
Yeah, that was a hard one.
I think he'd be a generous, just partner in general, And he could invite over the weekend, and we could just like smoke joints and like chill.
I'm told he's pretty badass.
He's a total badass, man. I love his stuff. I don't want to, but these are real people now.
I'm not talking about the actual people. You're making me feel bad. I'm talking about the music.
The music,
like, obviously, I don't hope James Ferraro suffers for the rest of his life. I just don't like his music very much.
Oh man, this is.
Oh man, I kind of want to save both. I kind of want to just save both of them. I like both of. I respect both of them a lot.
Okay.
I'm not the biggest fan of Vectroid, but I will simp for James Ferraro any day. I love his shit that just sounds like it sounds like Rainforest Cafe through like a shitty amplifier.
That's great.
It's like broken and shit.
Fair.
I love his lo-fi stuff so much.
Are you pretty big fan of hypnagogic pop?
I guess so, yeah. I love Casino Gardens, Rangers.
That's a deep cut right there. Casino Gardens.
Their self-titled is like a top 10 for me. I think that album is so fucking pretty, so warm, so inviting. It's a big blanket.
It's a good way of describing it.
So inviting.
Inviting is a good.
You just want to like chill with that album. You just want to like vibe, You just want to like.
That's a really good adjective to use to describe an album.
Yeah. And then like I get like really strong imagery from it too. Like finding you in the plaza. That song. It's just like kind of like a mall softy kind of song.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a really friendly,
very immersive,
like friendly album. I think it's just great. Yeah, I love lo-fi shit too. I think that's great.
What are some underrated acts that you can put us on?
Okay, so Soft Replica, for real. Y'all need to listen for real.
Hard
if you still in chat,
cosign.
holy shit.
If
you like shoegaze, you owe it to yourself to listen to his last album, Molly and Dream. There's one more. Oh man. Oh my god, what was it? I had it like locked and loaded and I totally forgot it. Oh shit, yeah. It's Hypnagogic Pop. It's I think it's on Pacific Vision. It's an album called Daiquiri.
Daiquiri. Okay.
Pacific Vision sound. It is literally. I was like, holy shit! This is like a top. This is like a sound that I wanted to make forever. It's like breezy, beachy, synth pop. Hang on, I'm gonna link it. I'm gonna try to link it in chat.
Is it by Skeleton Lipstick?
No.
Damn.
No, but he does some breezy. Yeah, it's Daiquiri by Keith Fajarin. If you like kind of like Hawaiian, kind of Pacific, breezy, vaporwave kind of style of music that's original, like please.
So like Monster Rally, but not cursed sounding.
I'm not familiar with them. It's more Casino
Rally.
Gardens. It's more I I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, it's just breezy. It's really pretty. It's catchy as fuck.
Yeah.
It's, oh
shit.
It came out of nowhere. I didn't even know about it.
Thank you for linking it too. If y'all are listening, check it out. It sounds like it needs to be listened to.
Please check it out. It's on Spotify too.
Very cool.
It's just like lo-fi jams, you know.
We're getting to the point where we're gonna have to say goodbye soon, and it looks like Skelly looks like he's ready to say goodbye already.
Y'all are both like.
Do we want to go ahead and roll right into the segment where you get to shout out anybody you want and promote yourself and just you have the floor.
Yeah, I was kind of promoting the homies the whole time. I'm on Twitter. I'm sure most of you know that already. I'm Dreaming of Diary on Twitter. Bandcamp, still Digital Sex. I don't know if I can change that, if I'll fuck up like people that have linked my albums before. SoundCloud, if anyone still uses that, still Digital Sex. We're just making music, just vibing, trying to make an album with Vapor, trying to put out some like
that'd
kind
be
of
great.
new age ambient experimental fun shit.
He collabs with a lot of people.
He really do. We're trying to get that put together. I guess that's kind of all I got right now. I didn't even mention the podcast. I was on the Nobody Here documentary, so I guess look out for that. So
that'll be fun.
It's pretty much just like this. I don't know, just vibe and be cool, I guess. Be chill. Spread
Check
love,
out Digital
spread
Sex. Listen to their 8-hour shoegaze playlist.
Yes.
Promote the 6-hour shoegaze playlist. How about that?
Check out my shoegaze playlist. That's way too long.
Right.
Just spread love and positivity and music and be cool. You know, that's what it's all about.
I love that.
Yeah, but thanks for having me, boys.
Thank you so much for coming on our show. This was so much fun.
Of course, I wouldn't miss it. Wouldn't miss this.
You want to go ahead and let her rip, Chris?
Sure. I believe September 16th, I'm going to be in New York City.
Again?
Playing Nostalgia Salon, which is the vaporwave dance party that Merlin runs. Merlin is one of the co-DJs for Yoitoki. He's got a vaporwave dance party that he does. I'll be playing that. And then, of course, I'll let you do the Vapor Space thing in a moment when it's your turn to promote. So stay tuned for a moment. Isaac will talk about that. And then in addition to that, I don't know. I've got the Doom mix. Got a song on that Doom mix with your boy Vape is on that as well, along with Roll Lux and Discoholic and Fiber and Eyeliner and Pop Culture and who am I missing? Other people. Oh, Pepsi also, and so that's good. And then I made an album, and then I don't like it, and I'm redoing it. So
it happens. I know how that.
I sent it to Alex too from Pacific Plaza, and I had an idea for it. It was these like segments and like soundscapes of like times when I was anxious or depressed, and I sent it to him. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. I'm gonna take some songs from that. We're gonna do another one.
You've definitely slept on it, right?
What do you mean? I slept on it. I decided, you know, I'll do something different.
I feel like you know what you're doing, but you definitely like went to bed and got up again, and still decided you didn't like it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We're figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. Aside from that, I think that's really all to promote. I think that's all I have to promote right now. I think that's enough.
Well,
buy Glows and Melts on Needle Juice Records and either the Melt
Shout out
variant or the
Needle
Glow
Juice.
variant.
Yeah.
Buy the Polymath Vampire cassette from Business Casual as well, if Spirit moves you.
If you are a fan of Emeralds or early One Otrix Point Never, you've got to hear that album. It's my favorite thing
it's very
Chris has
good.
ever made.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
it's very good.
It's very good. It's all be like synthesizers. Oh, thank you. That's The cover was by
Vaporwave
Susie.
Vaporwave Susie, sorry.
Susie. And the art direction was by Secret Schools, who of course does all the art direction for Geometric Lullaby, and it was mastered by Fire Tools. And it also has collaborations with Donor Lens.
It's like a Vaporwave supergroup.
Yeah, it's like got Donor Lens and Golden Living Room and Winter Quilts and Lee from Hawaii 94 and Surfing and Tower of the Sun.
Chris, is this allegation true that you still have Quiz's Glows Then Melts record?
I have, I've got Glows Then Melts record for Quiz. Sure, of course, absolutely. He's got one. He's got to slide on over to him.
It is in fact true.
Yes.
Well, I guess I will just let y'all know. We got a show coming up, and it is a very, very cool Vaporspace St. Louis show. So obviously it's going to be in St. Louis. Got the bills right here, baby. It's called Terminally Hot. It's a collaboration between Hot Takes and Vaporspace St. Louis. We got me. We got Dr. Chris. We got Tuwa, an OG from the scene, and Stack Overflow. So Stack Overflow is kind of like on that whole like greenery, like rainforest wave type vibe as well. So I can't wait to see what they do.
I'm excited.
And it's going to be the 24th of September. I'm looking at this because I can't remember anything. The 24th of September at a place called Platypus. If you happen to be in St. Louis, you got to go. I haven't started working on my my set yet because I prepare a lot more than I would like to admit. But it's going to be a scorcher. I want to tear it down.
I can't wait.
So you got to go. I'll be there with Young Shiro and Hot Take stickers. And, oh, man, it's going to be so fun. We also have, I've just completed a couple of dates opening for Aurograph. Meeting Carlos in person was the coolest shit ever.
Oh, he's the best.
He was the best. That's something that already happened, so I can't tease that. But just to like,
did you have a fun time?
Yeah, I mean, we drove from Nashville today, opening for Actually, I closed the night after Aurograph, and about like killed myself just with energy during that set. But I mean, I had to do it. And iClick played too, of course. Shout out iClick for setting all that up.
Shout out previous guests, iClick.
Yeah, and then in Lexington we had Robert Beatty, Gene Vomit Terror, and of course myself DJing between.
Amazing.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm certain I'm forgetting something. But if you happen to be in St. Louis September 24th, you should come by. I think I'm going to be doing some DJing for a local psychedelic festival coming up here pretty soon, but that's just local. But I'm really excited about it nonetheless. And our next guest in 2 weeks, reportedly, is going to be 3D Blast.
Nice.
So if you guys like hot takes, you know it's going to be like piping hot.
He's got plenty.
You know someone's going to get canceled. I don't know who it's going to be, but it's probably not going to be Chris. But anyways, you got to tune in 2 weeks. That is September 12th. We're going to bump the time forward about 30 minutes because poor Randy works a night job now. But getting to meet Randy IRL was pretty cool, and we're excited to have them on the show.
Love Randy.
And it's definitely going to be a long time coming because obviously the other like super renowned Vaporwave podcast is FunnyNet. And,
I've been on Funny.
You have. I have not, but you have, and I loved your episode. Obviously,
I had so much fun. So much fun with those guys.
We are also, I guess I could just say, in the far-flung future, going to be working on a way to do kind of like what FunnyNet does, where anybody can jump in and chat with us, but that's for later. We're gonna figure that out. That was Chris's idea, actually. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. What's up?
You know, people want to come in and talk to us and just hang out, and I think that's fun. You know, we have a lot of guests that always want to come back and talk to us, and people that, and we want to talk to them too. You know, so if they're around, maybe they'll hop in if they want to talk.
We love our regulars, and
get to go on. I haven't been on that. Might want to come on.
You're the shit.
You know, just talking with your friends is fun. That's what it is.
And I had a great time tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. All you regulars, thank you for being here. Don't forget, again, if the spirit moves you, you can donate. and to check out the official Hot Takes Spotify playlist and listen to and buy everything that Digital Sex has ever made.
Yes, and also everything by Dreaming Diary as well.
And Dreaming Diary, yeah.
I have nothing. Yeah, everything's kind of sold out, but yeah, you can
go listen to it.
Too.
Go make some more merch so that you can get rich.
I've never made. You know what? I've never made merch. How the fuck do you do that?
What's
I don't even
wrong
know.
with you?
Duplication.
I don't know. I mean,
You never
no,
even
I
did a sticker?
That's not that. No, I've never done anything for Skeleton Lipstick. Everyone's always made things for me, whether that be albums or otherwise.
You don't have
I've never
to make it. Commission someone else to make it and then sell
I don't
it.
know what they're supposed to like. I don't know what to tell people. Like, I'm not sure. Like, how do you guys?
If you love me, buy this.
Make the. I don't care about the tapes and stuff. I have that gets released by labels, but like shirts and like stickers and logos.
Turbo Squad, I think.
Well, how do you guys decide like who's gonna get your feel right? Like, what
get
do
it
you,
on Gildan.
Like, what do you do? How do you tell someone make something cool and then they do it and you're like, that's good?
I mean, there's places you can go to just get custom shirts made too, or just
I don't know.
Sticker Mule's good for stickers.
Yeah, or sticker app.
The question is, how do you guys decide on the designs for your stuff? Like, I can't. I'm not
just like, oh, it looks cool.
Do you mean like? Well, I mean, you can always do the whole like, I give you total creative control to somebody.
I don't know if I want to do that. Scary.
Fuck, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people in our scene that we trust, right? I mean, you had people do your artwork for your albums. It's the same shit.
And that takes a lot of like discussion too ahead of time sometimes.
Christ just got here. Hello, Christ. The episode is basically over, but I hope you show up in 2 weeks to support your boy Randy.
Hey, John,
again, your set went way harder than I was expecting, and I'm sorry I didn't expect it to be hard, but that was a compliment.
You're just digging yourself in a deeper hole, sir. I'm sorry I didn't expect.
Thanks for tuning into Hot Takes, guys.
Oh, now you're gonna sign off. I see.
We love you, and we love Digital Sex too. Be here in 2 weeks, and good night.
Good night.
Thanks, guys. We love you.